built for South Florida.
Now, let's get right to the action.
Welcome inside Scotiabank Arena here in Toronto for tonight's matchup. It's the Florida Panthers and the Toronto Maple Leafs, Game 5 of this second round best-of-7 Stanley Cup playoff series. The Panthers lead the series 3-1. Toronto avoided getting swept in Game 4 a couple of nights ago. 2-1 was the final in that one. So they live to fight another day. For the Panthers, it's another opportunity to punch a ticket to the Eastern Conference Final. And this time, the Panthers know who their opponent would be in that Eastern Conference Final. Last night, the Carolina Hurricanes got by the New Jersey Devils in 5 games, so Carolina is now watching this matchup to see who they will meet when the third round gets going. But first, the Panthers have to take care of the Leafs. They'd love to do so tonight. We'll be dropping the puck here in just a few moments from Scotiabank Arena in Toronto. The Panthers 2023 playoffs are presented by City Furniture. And folks, everything's better on ice with Stoli Vodka. Get your Panthers pack today at participating retailers throughout South Florida. Must be 21 or older. Please drink responsibly. Doug Plagens here with you. Kevin Rogers is back in our network studios. We'll be checking in with him shortly. We'll hear from Panthers head coach Paul Maurice, Toronto head coach Sheldon Keefe coming up here shortly as well. We'll be dropping the puck in about 9 minutes or so from here in Toronto. Let's get into our pregame conversation with Panthers head coach Paul Maurice, sponsored by Celsius. Hockey fans, don't sit this one out when it's game time. Make Celsius a part of your play and get that energy up. Game days fueled by Celsius Essential Energy, the official energy drink of the Florida Panthers. Well, Paul Maurice begins here talking about what he thought the big factors, the big takeaways were from the Game 4 loss a couple of nights ago, 2-1 to Toronto.
It would be things that were even in the series, in the game shots. I think they had a higher danger shot action around our net, but it was a low event game. We would feel there were a whole bunch of things that we did, especially into the second period, not out of lack of caring, just wanting it so bad, trying to break a game open that made us disjointed is the best way I can describe it, and then that cost us things, zone time, opportunities to the net. So the things that you learn in the playoffs are the most important thing: how to handle situations, how to handle heavy pressure games, and we're still in that learning mode.
And you talk about a low event game. Do you think that was a matter of both teams playing pretty tight, or was that?
Yeah, I do, because I think they worked real hard. I mean, that was as hard a defensive game as they played, trying to, back checked hard, control the middle of the ice really hard. And there, at times, is a cost to that. You can't kind of play the stretch game that they like to play and defend really hard the way they did. So I think that brought the numbers down for both teams.
You talk about the way that they defended. I think their block shot total was almost the same as the number of saves that their goalie had. So they were really committed to that. When you have an opponent that's playing that kind of game, what is the best way to just try and break through that structure?
It's all about speed, foot speed, and puck speed. We got to come out of corners. You have to create a lane that causes other people to then cover over. So if you can get 2 guys in the lane, then somebody else, there's another lane on the ice. So a little bit more quickness. I thought we made a really good adjustment between Game 4 and 5 in the Boston series. I felt a little bit like our offensive game last night looked a little bit like Game 4 against Boston. We got standing in corners instead of moving. Kind of faster attack idea in the offensive zone, but that's not the driver. That wasn't the first piece. It was, why weren't we in the offensive zone more?
And you've held the opponent here to 2 goals in each of the 4 games in the series. From a defensive perspective, I know Sergei Bobrovsky's been huge, but is there a consistent quality you've seen in the 4 games in the series from your group defensively that has stood out here?
Yeah, there's a never quit in our defensive mindset. We had a guy fall down off a turnover and gave up a 4-on-1, but 2 guys hunt back as hard as they possibly could, just get a stick on it, just get another stick on it, and it stays wide. So aside from we had been pretty good blocking shots coming into last night, they didn't have as many shot attempts as we did, but they got pucks through a little better than we did. Moving pretty hard in our own end.
And we touched on it a bit, but I mean, not just around the league, road teams having some success, but you guys have shown some real comfort on the road, and it seems like you have some guys on your team, Matthew Tkachuk for one, who thrives in hostile environments on the road. Do you think the team has a quality that it feeds off of in that regard?
There's a different energy on the road, but it's just yours, right? It's 20 guys on the bench. We're the only people cheering for us, and then. And you kind of get into that us against them mentality. So the crowd energy you get. Now they get a shot on goal, you think the world's coming to an end, and you get the same, and you hear nothing. So you don't get that positive feedback. At the same time, the energy in the building, especially when it gets a little antsy, you can feel it, right? So that kind of fuels your legs.
And you've liked the starts of the games, but there have been tight starts to the games as far as the way they've been played so far. What do you look for off the drop of the puck here in Game 5?
So I thought the first period of Game 4 was the best first period by both teams. I mean, I didn't think we gave a heck of a lot, neither did they. I thought early we were humping and good. But a couple of, not even turnovers, just plays we let die when we didn't need to, that kept us from getting more. But it was a solid and fast. I think that's what happens now. Both teams are going to come out and defend as hard as they possibly can on every play, and it'll be simple hockey from here on out.
Panthers head coach Paul Maurice right there. A pregame conversation sponsored by Celsius. Hockey fans, don't sit this one out when it's game time. Make Celsius part of your play and get that energy up. Game days fueled by Celsius Essential Energy, the official energy drink of the Florida Panthers. The Maple Leafs, they're coming off the win in Game 4. 2-1 was the final score in that game. Here's the Leafs head coach Sheldon Keefe as we get to our Geico scouting report. Geico, 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on your car insurance. Sheldon Keefe right here talking about what he liked from his team's Game 4 win that he'd like to see carried over into this Game 5.
Thought we had a really strong forecheck. Last game was our best of the series for sure. Probably best of the playoffs in terms of our ability to put pressure on the defense and get pucks back that way. So the more time we can spend in the zone, all of that. You saw the goal that Marner scored. I think that's a goal that's earned, over multiple shifts in terms of wearing down their defense and having to tire out the goaltender too. So that's more of the process related stuff that I think we did at times really well against Tampa, and we haven't been able to get to that as much. Part of that has been in Florida, and how they've defended against us and how they've played on offense themselves. But, the other night was more of an indication of what we think we're capable of. But we've got to start it all over here again tonight.
Sheldon Keefe, head coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs, in our Geico scouting report. Geico, 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on your car insurance. Very quickly, your scratches ahead of tonight's matchup. Who's going to be out of the lineup? Your scratches, as always, presented by Baptist Health, the official sports medicine provider of the Florida Panthers. For the Panthers, you can scratch Casey Fitzgerald, Giovanni Smith. Ryan Lomberg remains out of the lineup for the Panthers. You won't hear their names. Also, Mike Benning. On the other side for Toronto, scratch Zach Aston Reese, Matthew Nyes, Wayne Simmons, Connor Timmins, Eric Gustafsson, and Ilya Samsonov still out with that injury. The scratches presented by Baptist Health, the official sports medicine provider of the Florida Panthers. The Geico goalie matchup, very quickly. The Geico goalie matchup. Geico, 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on your car insurance. It'll be Sergei Bobrovsky once again for the Panthers, 6-2 in the playoffs. On the other side, Joseph Wall. He's 1-1 in the playoffs. Won his first playoff start in Game 4. That's your Geico goalie matchup. Geico, 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on your car insurance. Folks, head to your local Verizon store for amazing giveaway, plus the best deals on phones. Always the network America relies on, Verizon. And remember, folks, when the Cats win, you win. Buy a 3-tender meal, get one free at Huey Magoo's the day after a Cats victory to redeem more Panthers gear to your participating Huey Magoo's locations. We'll be dropping the puck in about 6 minutes or so. Kevin Rogers is anxiously awaiting back in our network studios. He's got to look at the players to watch, and he'll tell you what's going on across the rest of the league and our JetBlue out-of-town scoreboard as well. Kevin, who are you highlighting ahead of this big Game 5 matchup between the Panthers and the Leafs?
Doug, good evening. We will start with Sam Reinhart of the Panthers. He has the last 2 goals for them. He scored the lone goal in Game 4 in the 2-1 loss, and also the overtime winner back in Game 3. And for Reinhart, so far in the postseason, he has 6 goals and 2 assists, and he's only had 1 game in this series. He has not registered a point. That was Game 1 against Toronto, but back-to-back games with goals. And in fact, Reinhart has goals in 5 of the past 7 games, so that is pretty key for the Panthers. Meanwhile, for the Toronto Maple Leafs, William Nylander, we have not highlighted him yet in the series. 40 goals in the regular season, and he actually had a good start in the Tampa Bay series, in which he registered 7 points in the first 4 games, but then went scoreless in the final 2 games of that series and scoreless in the first 2 games of the Panthers series, but he has a goal and an assist so far in the last 2 games. Had the opening goal back in Game 4 on Wednesday. Obviously one of the players the Panthers have to keep an eye on this evening. Let's go now to the JetBlue out-of-town scoreboard. JetBlue, the official airline of the Florida Panthers. And the second game coming up tonight in the NHL, the Oilers and the Golden Knights out in Las Vegas. That series all tied up at 2 apiece. Game 5 this evening. Oilers won Game 4. Kind of a back-and-forth series so far between those two Pacific Division rivals, but a big Game 5 tonight out at T-Mobile Arena. That's coming up at 10 o'clock tomorrow. The Stars can close out the Kraken. They're back in Seattle for a 7 o'clock face-off. Saturday night, Game 6, Dallas up 3-2. Carolina beat New Jersey in overtime last night, so the Hurricanes advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. Meanwhile, inside of the NBA playoffs, starting up at the bottom of the hour, it's Game 6 from Miami, where the Heat take on the Knicks, and the Heat looking to close out New York up 3-2. And the Miami Marlins, they right now facing the Cincinnati Reds, and that game is scoreless top of the third from Lone Depot Park. Up next, it is Game 5 from Scotiabank Arena, north of the border in Toronto. Panthers looking to close out the Maple Leafs. Panthers up 3-1. We'll see if they could do it. Sergei Bobrovsky back in net for the Panthers. Joseph Woll in for Toronto, as we'll have the face-off coming up in just a few minutes. Stay tuned. Game 5 coming up right here on the Florida Panthers Radio Network.
Hockey fans, don't sit this one out. When it's game time, make Celsius part of your play and get that energy. Game Day is fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drink of the Florida Panthers.
Panthers fans, download Upside to be a cashback champion. With the new Upside app, you earn cash back on the essentials you need and find cash in places you never expected, like your favorite restaurant, your go-to grocery store, and that gas station you always stop at. All the places you go, there's cash back waiting for you to find it. Will Upside earn you enough money to quit your job and become a full-time Panthers fan? Probably not, but it will give you a little something extra, like enough cash back to bring some friends to the next game or to treat yourself to some new Panthers swag. There's nothing like a Panthers win and a few unexpected bucks to brighten your day. That's life on the Upside. Download the free Upside app and use promo code GOCATS for an extra 25 cents per gallon back on your first fill-up. That's promo code GOCATS for an extra 25 cents per gallon. Download Upside today to earn cash back at thousands of gas stations, restaurants, and grocery stores.
Get ready, South Florida hockey fans. Funky Buddha is back as official craft beer of the Florida Panthers. Cheer on the Cats with a cold Funky Buddha beer in hand all season long. And be sure to visit the revamped Funky Buddha tap room at FLA Live Arena, just across from Pantherland, for a variety of ferociously funky draft beers and good vibes. From the Floridian Wheat Beer to Hopgun IPA, Funky Buddha is bringing exceptional beer and unique brewery experience to every home game. See you there, and go Panthers. Funky Buddha Brewery, Oakland Park, Florida. Get funky responsibly.
Hockey fans, don't sit this one out. When it's game time, make Celsius part of your play and get that energy up. Game Day is fueled by Celsius Essential Energy, the official energy drink of the Florida Panthers.
Glorious and free. Stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Welcome inside Scotiabank Arena here in Toronto for Game 5 of the second round best-of-7 series. The Panthers lead the series 3-1. It was the Maple Leafs who were able to stave off elimination in Game 4. They took that one by a 2-1 final score, so we get set for Game 5 here this evening. Doug Plagens with you, Kevin Rogers back in our network studio. Starting lineups for the two teams. First for the Panthers, coached by Paul Maurice. The starting forward line will be Sam Bennett between Matthew Tkachuk and Nick Cousins. Mark Stahl, Brandon Montour defensively in front of Sergei Bobrovsky. On the other side for Sheldon Keefe's Toronto Maple Leafs, the starting forward line will be Austin Matthews between Calle Jarnkrok and Mitch Marner. Luke Schenn, Morgan Riley defensively in front of the goaltender, Joseph Woll. The officials for tonight's matchup, the referees Jean-Hébert and Kyle Raymond, the linesmen Bevan Mills and David Brisebois. As we are set to go from center, It's the Panthers and the Leafs game 5 tonight. Panthers in white, left to right. Leafs in blue, right to left. We're off and running. Opening frame from Toronto. Puck dumped down to our left by Luke Shin. Into the Panthers zone. Austin Matthews here in the near corner. He'll wind it around over to the far boards. Got by Shen. Marner. Long drive. Right point wide. Into the near corner it goes. Matthew Tkachuk back in near side. Deflected away. Matthews. Marner into the slaughter. Shot in a right pad save made by Sergei Bobrovsky. A wild bounce, and the Leafs wound up with a chance out of it. They were able to get that big opportunity, but Bobrovsky made the big save. Panthers crossed in offside. Down to our right. Well, the first big save of the game was made by the Panthers goaltender Sergei Bobrovsky. Let's get to your Geico goalie matchup once again. Geico, 15 minutes and save you 15% or more on your car insurance. Bobrovsky, he is 6-2 in the playoffs. Joe Woll, 1-1. And to our right in net for Toronto, his second career playoff start. In net for the Leafs tonight. Face off just outside the Leafs line. And John Tavares wins that one. Here's a pass from Justin Hall to Alex Kerfoot, wrapped up by Aaron Ekblad. Anthony Duclair on the puck near side. Has it in his skates. He's tied up by Kerfoot. Puck squirts to center. Forsling left side for Heggie. Long shot right into the glove hand of Joe Woll, the Toronto netminder. We've gone 42 seconds here in this first period. No score. Panthers and the Toronto Maple Leafs here in Game 5. Doug Plagans with you. Kevin Rogers back in our network studios. Paul Gatz, our on-site engineer. Danny Garcia back at studio controls. Barkov leans in against Tavares. Off the face-off, the Panthers have a chance to control. Looks like they're going to drop that one again. Tavares has been particularly tough to deal with in the face-off circle in the playoffs, winning over 60% of his draws for Toronto. Connor Verhaeghe now stands in against Tavares, and John Tavares able to win that one. Here's TJ Brody back behind the Leafs net. A pass on the near side, nowhere near Kerfoot. Goes all the way down to our left. Sergei Bobrovsky will make a play on this one. Gives it to Gus Forsling. He'll walk back into the trapezoid. Takes a long look ahead. Gives to his defense partner, Aaron Ekblad. Up the near side, a pass to Duclair. He's tied up. Puck squirts away. Tavares will look to scoop it along into the Panthers zone. Can't get it down deep. Neither can Kerfoot. And the Leafs will reset back inside their own blue line. Brought back by Brody. He'll have it in front of the Toronto net. TJ Brody takes a look ahead. Pressure coming from Anton Lundell. Pass on the right. He's got Justin Hall. Banks it along the boards. Nola Chari. He'll swing it down to our left. Onto the end boards. Radko Gudas there quickly, and he's going to clear. This one goes all the way down the ice, and it's going to be an icing call against the Panthers. 1:26 into the action. No score. Panthers and Leafs here in the games. Early going. The Panthers playoffs are presented by our friends at City Furniture. And everything's better on ice with Stoli Vodka. Get your Panthers pack today at participating retailers throughout South Florida. Must be 21 or older. Please drink responsibly. Face off near circle down to our left. Sam Reinhart leans in. This time against Ryan O'Reilly. Sam Reinhart, 9 goals in 21 career playoff games. He's found a knack for scoring in the Stanley Cup playoffs, Sam Reinhart has. Last year was his first taste of the playoffs. Second go-around here this year. It's a clear from Radko Gudas out at center. Jake McCabe and Etulos Terrain tie up, and McCabe knocked him over, and there's going to be a penalty coming up against Toronto as the puck's played in on Wall, and he's going to cover it, and now we've got some additional chatter down here. Bunting and Reinhart having a word, and it looks like a penalty has been called against the Toronto Maple Leafs, and Jake McCabe's going to be the guilty party. 1 minute 37 seconds into the game. Panthers set to go onto a power play presented by Seminole Coconut Creek Casino. See what kind of power play we have here. Will be a 2 or a 4.
Round 22 minor penalty, high sticking.
They got him for high sticking. It's going to be a minor penalty. They were checking over there to see if there was any blood drawn. Got the stick up high. Well, the fans don't like it, but if it wasn't going to be a high sticking penalty, it was probably going to be an interference penalty. It was going to be something. But they get him for the high stick. So the Panthers on the game's first power play. Big opportunity here. Face off far circle down to our right. And off the draw. It squirts out in front. A shot and a save made. Sam Bennett had the chance. It's loose out in front of the goal. Joe Woll sprawled out, and he's able to stop Barkov in the follow-up. And Bennett, as he was whacking away, Matthew Tkachuk was in the neighborhood. And Joe Woll, some acrobatics here early on, maintaining his positioning down there. The puck went right to an open Sam Bennett, and then Barkov pushed it on goal, had a couple of cracks at it, and Woll was on top of that one. You felt like the Panthers really had something brewing there, but Joe Woll was able to cover it up. Face-off, far circle down to our right. 18-16 left in the first period. Off the draw, the Leafs will control. It's backhanded out of the zone by Mitch Marner all the way down to our left. And Sergei Bobrovsky will settle it for Brandon Montour. Panthers on a power play presented by Seminole Coconut Creek Casino. Sam Bennett to Montour. Has speed left side. Into the offensive end down to our right. Montour winds it around. Here on the near boards, Matthew Tkachuk tied up. Puck taken by Brody. Cross ice. Can he clear? It does. Bounce into the neutral zone. Now a takeaway. Marner scoots in. He ripped it away from Barkov. Barkov able to recover. He'll regather. Up the near side, Reinhart. In over the Leaf line. Down to the near corner, a race for it. Hull and Bennett tie up behind the net. Nolachari there. He'll push it along. Picked up and cleared by Calle Yarncroke down to our left. And Sergei Bobrovsky will settle this one at the side of the net. 1:08 to play here in this Panthers power play. 17:28 left in the first period of action. So just getting going here at Scotiabank Arena in Toronto. Matthew Tkachuk, right side. He'll dump it down along the end boards. It rolls out along the far side. It's swatted out to the neutral zone immediately by Luke Schenn. Panthers forced to reset down inside their own blue line to our left. Brandon Montour with it. Montour drifts off to the near side. Hands it back. Taryn Ekblad. Ekblad across center. It's dumped in down to our right around the end boards. Over on that far side for Hagee tied up. Puck picked up by Kerfoot. He'll backhand to center ice. Ekblad handed it over toward Montour. There's a change in progress. A little miscommunication there. Now it's Montour back inside the Panthers zone. 29 seconds to go in this Panthers man advantage. For Hagee left side. He'll scoop it into the offensive end. Around it goes. Here on the near boards. Ekblad tied up. Ryan O'Reilly looking for the loose puck. He's wrapped up by Lundell. Puck jammed up by Brody. Can't get it out. Gus Forsling at the line. Long shot tipped. Save made by Wall. Loose in front. And it's corralled by Lundell. Out to the point for Hagee. Across. Forsling fakes the shot across. A shot. Ekblad. They score. It trickles through. And the let it rip out of the far circle, and he's able to sneak it past Wall. The Panthers are in business here at Scotiabank Arena. Wall got a piece of it, but not all of it, and that came at the tail end of a sequence where Toronto had done a pretty good job overall on the penalty kill, but the Panthers break through at the end. And the Panthers have the first, I should say, 8 of the first 9 shots on goal combined in this game. So the Panthers getting the start they're looking for as they're looking to punch a ticket to the Eastern Conference Final. The job far from done, but that's the start they were looking for. Here on the near side, Mark Giordano. He'll toss it along. Out come the Leafs. William Nylander down to our left. Josh Mahura back for the Panthers. Radko Gudas punched along on the near boards. Nylander the takeaway. He'll keep it in. Has it on the near wall. Lost it. And Gudas hands it on for Luostarinen. Give it to Nick Cousins. In go the Panthers down to our right. Cousins across. A shot and a save made by Wall and Eric Stoll, who follows in the rebound. Side of the net. Tried to bounce it out in front. And the puck winds up here in the near corner. Eetu Luostarinen plays it down low. Matthews regathering for Toronto. Drops it back behind the net. And now it's Mark Giordano to slow things down in front of the Leafs goal. 15:44 to go in the first. Panthers an early 1-0 lead, cashing in on that power play presented by Seminole Coconut Creek Casino. Here's David Camp to play one down to our left. Into the near corner. Sam Lafferty to Kerfoot. Back behind the net. Tried to back it along for Lafferty again. Duclair takes it away. Unable to clear. Morgan Riley kept it in. Mark Stahl up the near side. And he'll find Duclair off to the left wing. It's Verhaeghe into the offensive end. He's running too hard by Luke Schenn. And the Leafs have an opportunity to clear. They ultimately get it out. Now it's Morgan Riley in for Toronto on the right side. Morgan Riley backhand to the front of the goal, swept away by Bobrovsky. Got the tip of the goal stick on that. Here on the near side of the ice, handled by Duclair, and he'll scoot along down to our right. Duclair up the near board, sends one down to the side of the Leafs net. Taken by the goaltender Wall. A pass here on the near side. Brody out to the neutral zone. Tavares can't hang on to it. TJ Brody backed inside the Leaf line. He'll hand it across far side of the ice. Played by Riley. Morgan Riley on for Nylander. Nylander to center, had it knocked off his stick. It rolls inside the Panthers zone. Leafs keep it moving down low. It's going to be Yarncroke to Nylander. Couldn't connect there. Loose puck near side. Backhanded onto the zone by Luostarinen. And the puck goes down to our right. And this will be whistled for icing. 14:34 to go in the first period. 1-0 Panthers out front of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Folks, the total keeps climbing. Amerant Bank Saves for Vets program has collected 2,668 saves with $106,720 donated so far this season. Amerant Bank, imagine a bank that has your back. The official bank of the Panthers, Amerant Bank. Face off near circle down to our left inside the Panthers zone. Sam Reinhart, he'll take the draw against John Tavares. Reinhart with Lundell and Luostarinen. It's become a solid line here throughout the playoffs. Puck played off to the near side. Reinhardt to Lundell. Off the short glass. Got it to the line. Jake McCabe held it in. Loose puck here on the near side, and it's going to be nudged out to the neutral zone. Timothy Liljegren, he'll guide it in down to our left. And it wraps around the end boards. Ekblad on it. He will clear. Jake McCabe was in the box for that Panthers power play goal. As the Leafs able to advance it, here's Nylander. Nylander walking in over the Panthers line. He was bumped by Bennett. Puck taken back by Tkachuk. Down to our right he goes. Drifts off to the near side. Matthew Tkachuk looks to backhand out front. Deflects away off to the far corner. Austin Matthews is on it for Toronto. Up the right wing side looking for Nylander. Didn't connect. Bounces back. Matthews has it. Nylander out in front. Michael Bunting. Backhand try. And it's wide. Matthews has it. Trying to wrap it around. And he was stuffed at the side of the goal. Over on the far boards. Bennett to Tkachuk to Cousins. And he'll drop it back for Josh Mahura. Backhanded through center ice down to our right. Going to be an icing against the Panthers here. So another face-off upcoming. The Panthers playoffs are presented by our friends at City Furniture. Panthers fans, download the free Upside app. Use promo code GOCATS for an extra 25 cents per gallon back on your first fill-up. That's promo code GOCATS for an extra 25 cents per gallon. Download Upside today to earn cash back at thousands of gas stations, restaurants, and grocery stores. So Aaron Ekblad's power play goal has gotten things started here this evening. Forsling and Verhaeghe on the assists. That one came at 3:31 if you're scoring at home. The puck lofted out of the zone by Radko Gudas. And down to our right handle by Luke Schenn. It was a power play goal for the Panthers. Schenn straight on off Marner. Collected by Morgan Riley. And the Leafs defenseman will dump it down to our left. In first for it is going to be Ryan O'Reilly. Lost the handle. Noel Acciari far side for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Then it's O'Reilly out to the right point. Schenn across Morgan Riley. Long wrist shot off a leg in front. Didn't get through to Bobrovsky. Here in the near corner, Colin White behind the net. It's taken away by Ryan O'Reilly in front. It's going to be played by Marner to Morgan Riley. Across the line, Luke Schenn. Long drive off the mark. Loose. And it was kept away from the front of the net by Bobrovsky. As the Leafs have a flurry going inside the Panthers zone down to our left. It's Acciari around for Ryan O'Reilly over to the far corner. Acciari there once again. Marner out to the point. Luke Schenn juggles, couldn't keep it in. Zach Dalpe nudged it out through center, and down to our right it goes. 12:36 to go in the first period of action. Marner for Kerfoot. Kerfoot here on the near side of the ice for Toronto. He'll dump it down to our left. Back behind the Panthers net, Gus Forsling. First one there, over to the far corner. It's handled by Verhaeghe. On for Barkov. Given then to Duclair. Speed up the left wing side. He'll be bumped hard by Liljegren and knocked off the puck. Anthony Duclair run into there. And the puck played out to center then by McCabe. Dumped back in by Ekblad. Down behind the net, Joe Wall for the Leafs, the goaltender to play it. Gives to McCabe here in the near corner. He's crashed into by Barkov, didn't clear. Verhaeghe here on the near side, out in front. Reinhardt, and the whistle is blown. And with 12:03 to go in the first, a 1-0 Panthers lead on the board. Looks like there is a penalty coming up to the Panthers. The Leafs power play when we return from our first media timeout. 1-0. It's the Panthers over the Leafs in Game 5 on the Florida Panthers Radio Network.
Panthers fans, download Upside to be a cashback champion. With the new Upside app, you earn cash back on the essentials you need and find cash in places you never expected, like your favorite restaurant, your go-to grocery store, and that gas station you always stop at. All the places you go, there's cash back waiting for you to find it. Will Upside earn you enough money to quit your job and become a full-time Panthers fan? Probably not, but it will give you a little something extra, like enough cash back to bring some friends to the next game or to treat yourself to some new Panthers swag. There's nothing like a Panthers win and a few unexpected bucks to brighten your day. That's life on the Upside. Download the free Upside app and use promo code GOCATS for an extra 25 cents per gallon back on your first fill-up. That's promo code GOCATS for an extra 25 cents per gallon. Download Upside today to earn cash back at thousands of gas stations, restaurants, and grocery stores.
Get ready, South Florida hockey fans. Funky Buddha is back as official craft beer of the Florida Panthers. Cheer on the Cats with a cold Funky Buddha beer in hand all season long. And be sure to visit the revamped Funky Buddha tap room at FLA Live Arena, just across from Pantherland, for a variety of ferociously funky draft beers and good vibes. From the Floridian Wheat Beer to Hop Gun IPA, Funky Buddha is bringing exceptional beer and unique brewery experience to every home game. See you there, and go Panthers. Funky Buddha Brewery, Oakland Park, Florida. Get funky responsibly.
2:03 to play here in the opening frame of Game 5. Panthers lead the series 3-1. They lead this game 1-0. An Aaron Ekblad power play goal in the first 4 minutes. Got things started here. Folks, when the Cats win, you win. Buy a 3-10 meal, get one free at Huey Magoo's the day after a Panthers victory. To redeem where Panthers gear, you're participating. Huey Magoo's locations. Well, the Leafs out of the power play for the first time tonight. Aaron Ekblad for tripping the call. And the sequence will start with Sam Reinhart punching one down to our right. It's the Panthers in white left to right, Toronto in blue right to left as we are watching the Leafs head to the power play for the first time in the game. Morgan Riley drops it off for Mitch Marner, right to left through center. Gives to Matthews, near side Tavares for the Leafs. He'll hand it out to the line. Lead there by Morgan Riley, looking off to the far circle, off the skate of Matthews. O'Reilly now to Matthews, across from Morgan Riley. Morgan Riley, Matthews, one-timer just off the mark, and Marner finds it back behind the net. They like to work it to Matthews straight on for the one-timer on the power play. Here's Morgan Riley across far circle. A shot. Matthews stopped by the right pad of Sergei Bobrovsky. And the Leafs scramble to try and keep this thing in. O'Reilly to Morgan Riley across Marner. Feeds Matthews. Right circle backs off the boards. Marner at the line. Look, shot. He was looking for a tip, and it was kicked away by Bobrovsky. The puck cleared by Barkov all the way down to our right. So the Leafs with some pressure. They're going to get the next unit onto the ice as Joe Wall leaves it back behind the net. Played by Mark Giordano. Inside 11 minutes to play here in the first with the Panthers up 1-0 in Game 5. It's Calle Jarnkrok. Gives to William Nylander. Dangles through center. Taken away. Eric Stahl heading down to our right. Stahl to the far circle. A shot. Wall the save. And Nylander caught up to him. Forced him into taking that shot. Maybe a little earlier than he would have particularly liked to. And now the Leafs will walk it along again. 10:35 to go in the first. It's Nylander. Giving out to Jarnkrok. Michael Bunting. Cuts into the slot, right circle. A shot, save Bobrovsky, that time on Kerfoot, and the puck cleared out. Eric Stahl launched it down to our right. Wall out of the net, gives to Giordano. The power play for the Leafs down to the final 15 seconds. Giordano up to center, gives to Nylander. Sergei Bobrovsky's had his A game early on. Here's Kerfoot up the near side. He'll roll it to the corner. Gus Forsling tracks it down near side, winds it around. Giordano held it in. Back to 5-on-5 hockey we go as it's played down low. Kerfoot to the front of the net. Bouncing puck. Kerfoot back on it. He'll bring it off to the near corner. Ekblad right into the action out of the penalty box. Kerfoot behind the net. Nylander out of the trapezoid. Bank pass. Brody here at the near point. He'll look down low. Off the boards in the corner. It's Nylander. Shuffles it around for Bunting. And then he tried to drop it back for Nylander. That didn't connect. Panthers don't clear. Kerfoot to the line. Brody across Justin Hall right point. Into the far circle. It's Nylander. A shot that's over the net. Goes off to the near corner and Brody on it. He'll play it out to the line. It's out of the reach of Camp. And this one goes all the way down to our right. After it is Noah Chari. Fresh off the bench. Cuts it off. Gives to Camp here on the near side. Camp along the boards. David Camp. He'll be bumped along the near side by Verhaeghe. The puck stays in the zone, though. Brody, he'll send it down and around. Over on the far wall, it's Matthew Tkachuk looking to clear. He's pressured heavily there. Tkachuk hangs on to it. Matthew Tkachuk back behind the net. Gives off to the near corner. Brandon Montour scoots it along for the Panthers. Shots are 10-5 for the Panthers early on. 9:07 to play in the first. 1-0 Panthers on an Ekblad power play goal. Into the far circle, it's Tkachuk. Maneuvers down low. Played it off the inboards. Here to the near corner. It's Brody, and then he's bumped by Verhaeghe. The Panthers hold the line. Loose here on the near side. Camp darts away with it. Maybe an odd man rush for Toronto. Camp off to the right side. Hall. He'll launch it in on Bobrovsky into the chest protector, and he hangs on. 8:48 to play in the first. 1-0. It's the Panthers in front of the Leafs. 10-6. The Panthers with the edge and the shots. Panthers lead the series 3-1. We'll step aside, bring it back for more here in the opening frame in just a moment. This is the Florida Panthers Radio Network.
Hockey fans, don't sit this one out. When it's game time, make Celsius part of your play and get that energy up. Game day is fueled by Celsius Essential Energy, the official energy drink of the Florida Panthers.
Metro Group Miami, corporate partner of the Florida Panthers. The home of Metro Signs and Metro Wraps has been South Florida's business choice for quality signs and graphics for over 34 years. No sign is too big or too small for the experts at Metro. They bring brands to life. Call them today, 954-983-6662, 954-983-6662. Visit MetroGroupMiami.com to learn what they can do for you. Metro Group Miami, your everything team.
Is
Is your plumbing putting you in the penalty box? Is your AC icing? Call General Plumbing and Air Conditioning and let them provide you with unmatched red carpet service for all your plumbing and AC needs. With 24-hour emergency service 7 days a week, including holidays, they're ready to serve the Palm Beaches with professional, experienced, and friendly technicians. So take a shot with General Plumbing and Air Conditioning, proud partner of the Florida Panthers. Call today, 561-559-7711. That's 561-559-7711. Or find them online at generalplumbing.com. Go Panthers!
Hockey fans, don't sit this one out. When it's game time, make Celsius part of your play and get that energy up. Game day is fueled by Celsius Essential Energy, the official energy drink of the Florida Panthers.
8:48 to play here in the first period. 1-0 Panthers on Aaron Ekblad's first of the playoffs. Came on the power play. Panthers now 8 for 28 on the man advantage in the playoffs so far. Folks, buy and sell tickets the NHL approved way. Go to Ticketmaster.com/Florida Panthers. Face off on the way, far circle down to our left. Panthers playoffs presented by City Furniture. Anton Lundell, he'll line up against Ryan O'Reilly. And off the draw, the Leafs have it. Marner along the far boards. A shot blocker save made by Bobrovsky. And the puck goes out the line. Ryan O'Reilly runs it down, kept it in. Ekblad looks to clear, kept in by Jake McCabe here on the near boards. And to our left, activity inside the Panthers end. Back in on the near side, Ekblad. Along for Anton Lundell, scooped out of the zone. And this one tracked down by Timothy Liljegren for Toronto. Gives to Austin Matthews, who has threatened for the Leafs early on in this game. Had a couple of good looks on that power play, as the Leafs are 0 for 1 on their one opportunity. Matthews, O'Reilly, a shot tipped by Matthews, and Bobrovsky makes the save. Now it's a shot from Jake McCabe, blocked by Etulo Osterine, and the puck winds up the neutral zone. 8:09 left in the first period. 1-0 Panthers. Expect a lot of desperation from Toronto. They know if they fall short in this one, there's no tomorrow for them. As Timothy Liljegren has it over on the far side of the ice, sent around here to Marner on the near side. You wonder how they'll respond going down 1-0 in this game. Puck played on for John Tavares, and he forgot to take the puck with him. Liljegren catches up to it, on for Yarncroke, giving it to Tavares. He heads down to our left, and as he gets to the slot, can't get a shot through. Then Morgan Riley, an attempt. He was tied up, couldn't get much on it. And Mark Stahl up the near boards finds Anthony Duclair. He'll get the clear for the Panthers, and the puck goes all the way down to our right. Luke Chen back forward, almost gave it away. Around for Morgan Riley, out of the zone quickly to Tavares. Oh, he is blasted by Sam Bennett. Just absolutely tattooed. Now to the front of the net goes Tkachuk. Out to the far circle, a shot, and Mahura's attempt stopped. It's loose in front, wall on top of it. He's able to cover, and we've got a dust up off to the side of the net. Tkachuk and Yarncroke, the Leafs captain, John Tavares, just got train wrecked by Sam Bennett right here on the near side of the ice along the boards. 7:20 to go in the first, 1-0. It's the Panthers in front. And the chatter after all that's continuing. Now the Leafs, they know they can't go overboard any kind of retaliation because they're on the verge of being eliminated here. So they don't want to compound any issues. That's one way to assert some physical dominance in this one. Sam Bennett just blasted John Tavares, and it was a totally clean check. Face-off near circle down to our right. Colin White against Austin Matthews. And White able to win that draw. Zach Dalpe to the line. Josh Mahura across Dalpe. One-time drive wide. Off the inboards, lively bounce. Marner on for Brody. And on go the Leafs. Off to the right side. Nylander skips in along the right boards. Takes a look out front. And he was trying to pull one on the tape of Brody. There's a penalty upcoming against the Panthers. Nylander to the high. Slider shot. Save Bobrovsky. Dalpe able to grab it. And the whistle blows. And an interference call has been issued with 6:58 to play in the first period. 1-0. It's the Panthers in front. Radko Gudas, the recipient of the penalty, and he is not happy.
Florida penalty number 7 has a 2-minute minor interference.
Well, it's a tough situation here. The Leafs power play had a lot of pressure in zone time on their first opportunity. So Gudas had TJ Brody tied up. Brody went down. That was when the arm went up. They got wrapped up in front of the net. Radko has a case there. The loose puck was in the neighborhood. They were battling for it. Now the puck goes out to the top of the near circle and off to the near half wall. Marner in front. O'Reilly can't pull the trigger. Back to Morgan O'Reilly. Pass to Marner near side. He'll backhand for Ryan O'Reilly. Side of that Tavares in front of the jam, and it's saved Bobrovsky. And the puck picked up by Barkov. He'll backhand into the neutral zone. 6:40 to play in the first. Leafs on their second power play. Shots in the game even at 11. The Panthers lead 1-0. They had a power play goal. 3:31 into the contest for Aaron Ekblad. That's the difference so far. Here's Matthews on the near side. Tavares along the boards. Leaves it at the line. Morgan O'Reilly backs up. Gives to Marner. Marner backs out to the near point. Puts it down low. Matthews, bottom of the near circle. Cuts behind the net. Matthews looking for a lane. Morgan O'Reilly right point. Across. Matthews in the right circle. Holds straight on is Morgan O'Reilly at the blue line. Morgan O'Reilly down to the near circle. Marner in front. Bobrovsky may have gotten the stick on that. It goes off to the far boards. Hustled down by Morgan O'Reilly. Leafs keep it in between the legs. A feed from Matthews to Tavares. Matthews back out to Morgan O'Reilly. A shot. It's blocked by Eric Stoll. Morgan O'Reilly to the top of the near circle. Marner backs out to the blue line. Goes across to the far circle. A shot tipped wide by Tavares in front. Here's Morgan O'Reilly along the near boards. Out the line, Marner. Marner left point. Takes a look. Directs some traffic. Scoots down low to the corner. Mitch Marner, bottom of the near circle. Pass out front. Cut off by Eric Stoll. And he's going to have an opportunity to get it out here. He hangs on to it to chew up some time. Patience from Eric Stoll. And he's able to play it all the way down to our right. Half minute to go in this second Leafs power play of the game. William Nylander scoots through center, right to left across your radio. Nylander bounces one off Barkov deep into the Panthers zone. Mark Stahl behind the net, wrapped up. Kerfoot comes up with it, out to the far point. Mark Giordano across for Michael Bunting, left point. Back out to Giordano. One-timer! It's tipped wide off a stick out in front. And Nylander tracks it down far corner, finds Kerfoot, top right circle. He'll look for a lane, gives to Giordano. Mark Giordano across, and Kerfoot has it at the right point. Kerfoot slides it down low off the corner boards. Nylander. Nylander behind the net off to the near corner. Nylander to Giordano at the left point. Across. It's over the stick of Brody, and it rolls into the neutral zone. Panthers get a fortunate bounce there. Back to 5-on-5 hockey. Brody dumps it down to our left. Pressure continues for Toronto. Stan Lafferty, a shot from the right boards off the skate of Mark Stahl wide. Here on the near side, as it's going to be played on by Sam Reinhart, gives into the neutral zone and then catches back up to it on a bounce. He'll dump it down to our right. Hall behind the net for Brody. Up the far side, Noel Acciari couldn't get the clear. Panthers have it on the far boards for Hagee. Bumped by Acciari. The puck loose back behind the net. David Camp. Stick handles away from some pressure. 4:18 to play in the first. Justin Hall spins away from Verhaeghe and then looks across for Brody. TJ Brody, rink wide. He's got Camp. Camp over the Panthers line. A long shot absorbed by Bobrovsky, and he'll hold that. 4:08 to play in the first period of Game 5. Panthers lead the series 3-1. They lead this game 1-0. We'll bring it back for the rest of the first period next. This is the Florida Panthers Radio Network.
Wendy's $3 breakfast deal is a bacon or sausage egg croissant plus small seasoned potatoes for $3. It's the breakfast that don't miss. So if you did miss Wendy's breakfast, don't imagine. Fresh cracked eggs, sizzling sausage, crispy bacon, and block out those hot, buttery, flaky croissants. Croissants don't really make a sound, but if they did, for a breakfast that don't miss, Wendy's is that breakfast. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's $3 breakfast deal.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Select your request $3 breakfast deal to obtain discount. Not valid for a la carte combo orders.
Why? Just think about it. Why is the #1 selling brand of chainsaws not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot? We can give you over 10,000 reasons. That's how many authorized local steel dealers you can find across the country. Visit one and you'll find a range of dependable gas and battery-powered tools, from trimmers to blowers. And you'll find service from experienced professionals. Real steel. Find yours at steelusa.com. Lowe's and Home Depot are trademarks of their respective companies.
I'm Howard Mackler, founder of Innovation Refunds. You've heard me talking about the payroll tax refund for months. If you own a business, even if you've asked your CPA about this, you owe it to yourself to take another look. We provide a licensed and insured tax attorney who evaluates your company at my expense to determine eligibility. Businesses of all types can qualify, so go to getrefunds.com to potentially get a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. Download the Innovation Refunds app or go to getrefunds.com, getrefunds.com.
Back here at Scotiabank Arena, Toronto, Doug Plagens with you. Kevin Rogers back in our network studios. Paul Katz, our on-site engineer, and Danny Garcia back in studio control. All rights to this broadcast are reserved. Any rebroadcast, recording, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the Florida Panthers and the National Hockey League is expressly prohibited. Panthers fans, don't just watch the game, experience the excitement live at FLA Live Arena. Great seats from Ticketmaster, the official marketplace of the NHL. Score your tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Florida Panthers. Well, it's the Panthers 1 and the Leafs nothing. 4:08 to go in the opening frame. Aaron Ekblad's power play goal at 3:31. The difference so far, Toronto's had 2 power plays. They've had a slew of opportunities on those 2 power play chances, but Sergei Bobrovsky and the Panthers have shut the door. Off the face-off, Ekblad up the near side. Jake McCabe holds the line for Toronto. Lafferty to the line. Nylander. McCabe cuts in near circle. A shot. Save Bobrovsky with the left pad. And it's going to go off to the far corner for Hagee. Had it stripped away. Lafferty. Camp here in the near corner for Toronto. David Camp along the near wall. Had it poked away by Duclair. It's cleared by Ekblad out to center. A bouncing puck at the Leaf line. Duclair on it to the high slot for Hagee. A shot. He scores. Carter for Hagee out of the right circle on a great feed from Duclair. It's 2-0 put himself in the perfect spot, and Duclair put it on a tee for him. A great setup, and it comes on the heels of a handful of big chances for Toronto. Going back to before the commercial break, going back to that Leaf power play a few moments ago. Sergei Bobrovsky holding the fort, the Panthers doing the work at the other end. 2-0, 3:42 to go in the first, and I would expect that we're going to feel some tension build here inside Scotiabank Arena. Puck played down to our right into the Leaf zone. Morgan O'Reilly on for Calle Yarncroke. Oh, he's running too hard and taken down by Nick Cousins. And the puck played down to our right. Back in the Leaf zone, Morgan O'Reilly up the far side. Marner and Cousins collide. Luke Schenn finds the puck. He'll backhand out of the zone for Toronto. Mark Stahl kept it in front of him. And then it's given on to Nick Cousins, who flutters a backhand down to our right, deep into Leafs territory. Here's Morgan O'Reilly. He'll have it in front of the Toronto net. Looks off to the far side. Luke Schenn. The fans getting behind their Maple Leafs here at Scotiabank Arena, but it's the Panthers who have the upper hand here in the opening frame. Inside 3 minutes to play in this first period. Puck played down behind the Panthers net. Off to the near corner, Michael Bunting. Behind the net for O'Reilly. He was wrapped up by Mark Stahl. Loose puck here on the near side. Bunting back on it. Bunting looking out front. A shot. It's over the net from Achari and picked up off the end boards by Justin Hall. Bunting out to the line. Achari, a drive deflecting. It's wide. Over on the far side of the ice, Ryan O'Reilly dumped over by Eetu Luostarinen. Puck goes down behind the net off the near corner. Played up the boards by Montour. Loose puck here along the wall. TJ Brody slaps it back down low. Into the corner. Mark Stahl, Ryan O'Reilly. They tussle here on the near side. O'Reilly almost came out with the puck. It's pried away by Stahl. And then cleared along by Sam Reinhart, who's run into a little bit of a late hit there from Michael Bunting. No call on the sequence. And Ryan O'Reilly drops it back inside the Leaf zone. 2:08 to play in the first. 2-0 Panthers. Goals from Ekblad and Verhaeghe here in the first period. The Leafs work it down to our left. A bouncing puck far side of the ice, and Verhaeghe able to spin it to the neutral zone. Some shoving out around center as it was Barkov and Tavares locked up there for a moment. Puck tossed down to our right inside the Leaf zone. It's Timothy Liljegren back forward. 1:48 to play here in this first period of action. In goes Liljegren up the right side for Toronto. A shot that winds around here to the near corner. It's going to be tracked down by Sam Bennett. On for Matthew Tkachuk. Tkachuk up the near side. He'll get across the center red line. It's driven in. Down and around the end boards. Liljegren far side fanned on an attempt to send it back around the end board. Second try with it. He'll play it around the boards to the near corner. Mark Giordano run into by Tkachuk. And Giordano looks to play it along. Finds Kerfoot. Gives to Liljegren. 1:19 to play in this first period of action. 2-0. It's the Panthers in front of the Toronto Maple Leafs here in Game 5. Gudas up the near side. Tkachuk. He's upended by Matthews. Tkachuk got it out. Yarncroke hands it back. It's Hall back inside the Leaf zone. Hall across the ice. Brody here on the near side. 1:03 to play in the opening frame. 2-0. Panthers in front of Toronto. In go the Leafs. It's Justin Hall here on the near side. He'll play it down behind the net. Rims around the end boards. Sam Reinhart far side. He's going to be bumped. Puck came free. Lundell popped it out to center. And this one is going to be whistled. Looks like it may have hit somebody over on the bench there. 48.6 seconds left in the first period. The 2-0 Panthers lead over Toronto. Leafs lead the shots 13-12. They've had 2 power plays to the Panthers 1. The Leafs on the power play are now 2 for 11 in the series. 8 for 32 overall. in the playoffs. The Leafs have had as many power plays here in the first period tonight as they did in games 3 and 4 at FLA Live Arena combined. Off a face-off, the Leafs control. It's played down by Marner around the end boards. 43 seconds to go in the frame. Brody slices it back deep into the Panthers zone. Barkov backhand here on the near side. A tie-up. Montour hands it along. Carter Verhaeghe to center ice. He'll toss it off the far boards. Tracked down by Justin Hall. He's dumped over on that far side of the ice by Verhaeghe to the corner. Barkov had it poked away, still loose over on that far side. And now the Leafs will bring it along. They do have time to charge it up the ice one last time. 18 seconds to go in the period. They're into a change, though, here in the late stages of the frame. Fans frustrated a bit with the timing of that line change. Here's John Tavares dancing in for Toronto. Tavares tried to drop one back. Couldn't find O'Reilly. It's punched all the way down to our right. And as this one goes the length, they whistle it for the icing. Morgan Riley got back there just in time, and seems like he may be telling the officials that whistle should have gone a little earlier. He wasn't too thrilled there. 1.2 seconds left in the first period. Joe Wall's going to go to the bench, so the Leafs are going to bring the extra attacker out here late in the period. And look for a face-off win from Tavares, who's over 60% in the playoffs. They put 1 second on the clock, so that's where we are. They reduce it from 1.2 to 1 second. 2-0 Panthers. Coming up on the end of the opening frame. Now they put a half second back on, so 1.5 seconds on the clock. John Tavares for the Panthers standing in. Bennett off the draw. Puck bounces around, and that's going to do it for the opening 20. Tkachuk into a little tussle here with Ryan O'Reilly as the period comes to a close. And it's off to the Ford first intermission. 2-0 Panthers through 20, so they get the start they were looking for. In that opening frame, they lead 2-0. Still 40 minutes of work to do in this one, but the Panthers, well, they're 20 minutes closer to punching a ticket to the Eastern Conference Final if they can wrap this one up here tonight. Should mention Matthew Tkachuk, as well as David Pasternak and Connor McDavid, the finalists for the Hart Trophy, as that was announced shortly before puck drop tonight. So big congratulations to Matthew Tkachuk, first year as a Panther, and what a year he put together his first year in a Panthers uniform. As we get ready to have a guest downstairs outside the dressing room through 20 minutes of play, 2-0. It's the Panthers out front of the Maple Leafs through one period of play. And we go downstairs now outside the Panthers dressing room. Panthers defenseman Gus Forsling here with us. And, well, Gus, how good are you guys feeling right now, leading by a pair through two? I know there's 40 minutes of work still to do in this one, but how you guys feel through one?
Yeah, we feel good. We get the first 2 goals there. It's important, but we gotta stay on them here.
And when you're going up against a desperate team like this, I know you guys are worried about your own game, but there's a chance a desperate team could start to take some chances. How much do you pay attention to that and watch their desperation level?
Yeah, for sure, especially for our D. We got to look behind our back and see if they're going behind us, but other than that, we want to stay with our game.
And Gus, the last thing here, you guys have been very solid on the road here in the playoffs. Coming on the road, Boston, Toronto, these have been loud, hostile environments. What is it about your group that makes you have the ability to be successful in these tough buildings?
Yeah, I think we just have a lot of confidence in the group, and it doesn't matter where we play. We love to play on the road too.
Well, Gus Forsling, you guys put together a great first period there. We thank you very much for stopping by. Best of luck here in the second, third. That's Gus Forsling downstairs outside the room through 20 minutes of action. 2-0 Panthers over the Leafs through one period. The Panthers with a good start there. Ekblad, Verhaeghe, they get the goals to get this thing going. Forsling had an assist on one of those. Kevin will take you through the full game summary so far, get you caught up on what's gone on here, what's going on elsewhere. He'll also have the JetBlue out-of-town scoreboard coming up for you in just a little bit. So lots to get to in that regard. But, folks, let's get to this day in Panthers history, presented by Baptist Health, the official sports medicine provider of the Florida Panthers. It was on this day in 1996, May 12th, 1996, 27 years ago, the Panthers in double overtime, able to get a 2-1 win, took a 3-2 series lead over the Philadelphia Flyers at the old Spectrum. Mike Huff got the game winner in that one for the Panthers, and in net. John Van Beesbrook stopped 34-35 for the Panthers. That was this night in 1996. The Panthers winning in double overtime to take a 3-2 series lead, a series they would eventually win over the Philadelphia Flyers. This day in 1996. This day in Panthers history, presented by Baptist Health, the official sports medicine provider of the Florida Panthers. Check out the Panthers Virtual Vault, FLAPanthersVault.com, presented by Baptist Health. Browse all moments in Panthers history. Panthers fans, don't just watch the game. Experience the excitement live at FLA Live Arena with great seats from Ticketmaster, the official marketplace of the NHL. Score your tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Florida Panthers. And folks, the total keeps climbing. Amerant Bank's Saves for Vets program coming into this game has collected 2,668 saves with $106,720 donated so far this season. Amerant Bank, imagine a bank that has your back. In that first period, 13 more saves for Sergei Bobrovsky. Kevin Rogers has the full game summary of the opening frame. Coming up next, 2-0 Panthers heading to our Ford First Intermission show right here on the Florida Panthers Radio Network.
You love watching, following, and sometimes even playing the game. Don't ever let an injury keep you from it. Let the all-pro staff at Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, the official sports medicine provider of the Florida Panthers, get you back to what you love. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information. Doesn't it feel good to know you can go where the pros go?
Panthers are back on the ice, and this season you can be in the stands to experience it all live. Shop a wide variety of seats for every game from Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of the Florida Panthers and the NHL. And make sure you don't miss a single moment. And rest assured, if your plans change, Ticketmaster has you covered. You can securely sell your seats to other fans with just a few taps. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com/Florida Panthers. Has your child been diagnosed with autism? ABA Centers of Florida provides personalized autism therapy for children and teenagers. Call 844-682-4222 and get a free consultation. Immediate openings are available without any wait lists. ABA Centers of Florida is board certified, top rated, and nationally recognized. Most insurance plans are accepted. Call 844-682-4222 or visit abacentersfl.com/Panthers.
Imagine a bank that lives for assists. One that sees their customers as part of a team with a common goal to achieve your dreams. Well, imagine that. There is one. We're Amerant. We're ready to help you wherever you are in life. And just as importantly, wherever you want to go. Because at Amerant, we want you to live a life beyond what you could imagine. Amerant, official bank of the Florida Panthers. Member FDIC.
This is the Ford First Intermission Report on the Florida Panthers Radio Network. Ford, built for South Florida.
Ford First Intermission against now. Kevin Rogers with you. Exactly what the Florida Panthers needed. A 2-0 lead over the Toronto Maple Leafs after one period. Game 5 up at Scotiabank Arena in Toronto. Panthers up 3-1 in the series. A win tonight. It's over. And the Panthers will advance to the Eastern Conference Finals to face the Carolina Hurricanes next week. But again, got to get through 2 more periods. Want to avoid a Game 6, even though it's back at home. Panthers do not want to have to keep the door open for this Toronto team. We know how dangerous they are. But the Panthers, though, in the playoffs, they so far are 5-0 when they score the first goal. So getting that first goal, pretty much the door is shut. And the Panthers doing their job so far through 20 minutes of play. Sergei Bobrovsky, 13 saves on 13 Toronto shots. Joseph Wall, who played very well in the Game 4 win, allowed just the one Sam Reinhart goal in the third period. He's made 10 saves on 12 shots. Let's now hear back the goals. And a little over 3.5 minutes in, the Panthers on the power play. We have not heard his name so far being called for a goal in the playoffs. That's Aaron Ekblad, as he would cash in and give the Panthers a 1-0 lead.
Out to the point for Hagee. Across. Forsling fakes the shot across. A shot. Ekblad, they score! It trickles through, and the Panthers get a power play goal. It's 1-0 with 16:28 to go. Here in this first period, the Panthers get the crucial first goal. Aaron Ekblad with the power play winding down, let it rip out of the far circle, and he's able to sneak it past Wall. The Panthers are in business here at Scotiabank Arena.
First goal of the playoffs for Aaron Ekblad comes in the power play. 3:31 into the first period. Gustav Forsling and Carter Verhaeghe with the assist. The Panthers up 1-0. It would stay 1-0 for most of the period until in the final few minutes. Carter Verhaeghe, who has had big goals throughout his career, again facing a team that he grew up watching, the Toronto Maple Leafs. He grew up in Toronto, and he picked up his 5th goal of the postseason to give the Panthers a 2-0 lead.
David Kampf along the near wall, had it poked away by Duclair. It's cleared by Ekblad out to center. A bouncing puck at the Leaf line. Duclair on it to the high slot. Verhaeghe, a shot, he scores! Carter Verhaeghe out of the right circle on a great feed from Duclair. It's 2-0 Panthers. Carter Verhaeghe coming up big in the big game once again.
5th goal of the playoffs for Carter Verhaeghe, 16-18 into the first period. Anthony Duclair and Aaron Ekblad with the assist, so 2 points in the period for Ekblad. Panthers lead it 2-0, and that's where we stand after 20 minutes of play. And the Panthers, this is exactly, like I said, what they needed. That doesn't mean the game is over. No, not by any stretch. But this Toronto team has not scored more than 2 goals in any game so far in this series. So that's good that the Panthers have held this Toronto team down. Again, no goals from Austin Matthews, no goals from John Tavares, no goals from those two. We saw Mitchell Marner finally break through and William Nylander break through in Game 4, but the Panthers done a great job stifling 2 of the top scorers in the NHL in this series. Also, Maple Leafs going to a young goalie with Joseph Woll, with Ilya Samsonov hurt. So everything is lining up perfectly for the Panthers, and this is the start they needed through 20 minutes of play, up 2-0. Before we step aside, let's pause for station identification across the Florida Panthers radio network.
The best hockey lives here.
Back to Rick. Far-side shot.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Coming up, we'll take a look at the JetBlue out-of-town scoreboard. Also get you updated on the Heat and the Knicks in just a little bit. South Florida sports scene up ahead. Panthers 2, Maple Leafs nothing after 1. Game 5 up in Toronto right here on the Florida Panthers radio network.
While the Panthers bring the heat to the rink, Tabañero brings the heat to the FLA Live Arena and all of South Florida. Tabañero is the official hot sauce of the Florida Panthers, and now you can enjoy it at concessions in every flavor. Original, sweet and spicy, curry habanero, and extra hot. Tabañero's premium sauce blends are made right here in South Florida from all natural, locally sourced ingredients. Find them in Walmart, Winn-Dixie, and Celano stores, and bring home the king of flavor, Tabañero.
Barriers. I'm all about breaking them. Hi, it's Luis Fonsi, international recording artist and South Florida resident. When it comes to creating music, I love mixing different musical styles and creating something new and unexpected. Ford builds SUVs and trucks the same way, breaking barriers with what you expect. Ford delivers strength, capability, and mixes in a level of comfort and style that's new, exciting, and perfect for South Florida. Visit your local Ford dealer today to get a great deal on a new Ford SUV or truck.
You love watching, following, and sometimes even playing the game. Don't ever let an injury keep you from it. Let the All-Pro staff at Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, the official sports medicine provider of the Florida Panthers, get you back to what you love. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information. Doesn't it feel good to know you can go where the pros go?
Are you jealous of your neighbor's or best friend's outdoor kitchen? You can have your own in 3 easy steps. Go visit profitoutdoorliving.com. Schedule your free outdoor kitchen design consult with one of our design specialists. We do a live virtual session with you using our very own 3D design software to create the outdoor kitchen of your dreams. We have dealers throughout the United States and in some cases ship direct. Don't forget to visit us at profitoutdoorliving.com. Look us up on TikTok at Profit Kitchens or give us a call at 718-532-4333.
Sport First Intermission continues. Kevin Rogers with you. Aaron Ekblad, Carter Verhaeghe, the goals in the first period. Panthers lead the Maple Leafs 2-0. As we take a look at the JetBlue out-of-town scoreboard. JetBlue, the official airline of the Florida Panthers, the only team that's punched a ticket to the conference finals, that being the Carolina Hurricanes, who edged New Jersey last night in overtime 3-2 to win that series 4-1. So the Hurricanes waiting in the wings for the winner of this Panthers Maple Leafs series. Meanwhile, in the Western Conference, still have at least 2 games to go between the Oilers and the Golden Knights as they head back to Vegas tonight for Game 5 of that series, tied up at 2 apiece. 10 o'clock face-off you can watch on TNT. And the Golden Knights were up 2-1 before the Oilers responded with a Game 4 home win. So each team is 1 at home and 1 on the opposing team's home ice as well. And it should be pretty interesting last few games in that series with Game 5 coming up in just a few hours. Coming up tomorrow, the other Western Conference matchup, the Stars and the Kraken, Game 6 of that series, and Dallas up 3-2 after they dominated Seattle in Game 5 at home. So now the Stars going back to Climate Pledge Arena, and the Kraken trying to extend the series back to Dallas for potential Game 7. That's a 7 o'clock face-off tomorrow at 7 o'clock face-off tomorrow night in Seattle. And Dallas trying to clinch a spot in the Western Conference Finals with a win. Coming up, we'll take a look at the South Florida sports scene. Heat and the Knicks, Game 6. We'll let you know what's going on there. Also, Marlins and Reds, get you updated on that as well. Panthers 2, the Maple Leafs nothing after 1 in Game 5 up in Toronto. Panthers up 3-1 in the series, a win. They advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. And you're listening to the Ford First Intermission right here on the Florida Panthers Radio Network.
Imagine a bank that lives for assists. One that sees their customers as part of a team with a common goal to achieve your dreams. Well, imagine that. There is one. We're Amerant. We're ready to help you wherever you are in life. And just as importantly, wherever you want to go. Because at Amerant, we want you to live a life beyond what you could imagine. Amerant, official bank of the Florida Panthers. Member FDIC.
Hey, Florida Panthers fans, want to kick your game up a notch? Then it's time to get drafted. Hit the bar and try a Truly Draft. All the refreshing flavor of Truly Hard Seltzer now on tap. Whether you need a pick-me-up between periods or a sip to celebrate that short-handed goal, Truly Hard Seltzer has you covered. With 100 calories, 1 gram of sugar, and 5% alcohol, there's no better drink for a long game. Find it near you at trulyhardseltzer.com. Truly Hard Seltzer Beverage Company, Boston, Massachusetts. Please drink responsibly. Choose to see clearly. Stop getting foggy glasses while watching the game. No glasses, no contact lenses. Call Dr. Bosom, the Panthers eye surgeon at 954-442-1133. Plus, just by mentioning the Panthers, they'll give you $1,000 off your procedure, and they're offering 0% financing for 2 years. CorrectVision.com, the only eye center in South Florida to offer all 5 vision correction procedures. Be sure to schedule your free consultation. Call 954-442-1133 or visit CorrectVision.com.
Would your children like the opportunity to play hockey just like their favorite Florida Panthers players? Sign them up for Florida Panthers Learn to Play. Learn to Play is designed to introduce the game of ice hockey to boys and girls ages 5 to 9. For only $225, each participant will receive 6 weeks of on-ice training from Florida Panthers alumni and U.S. Hockey certified coaches, as well as a custom-fitted free set of ice hockey equipment that they can keep at the program's conclusion. For sign-up, location, and scheduling information, visit floridapanthers.com/learn to play.
Ford First Intermission continues. Kevin Rogers with you. Panthers 2, the Maple Leafs nothing. Ekblad and Verhaeghe, the goal scorers for the Cats in the first period. Second period just a few minutes away. Game 5 of this best-of-7 series. Panthers up 3-1. Let's take a look now at the South Florida sports scene. Big game for the Heat, trying to close out the Knicks at home, and the Heat a little bit of trouble right now as they trail the Knicks 29-17 with 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Jalen Brunson, 15 points already for the Knicks, 5 points for Jimmy Butler, and the Heat win tonight. They advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. They lose. It's back to New York for Game 7, and the Marlins right now, they are trailing the Reds 2-1, bottom of the 5th inning from Lone Depot Park. Up next, it is the second period from Toronto. Panthers 2, the Maple Leafs nothing, right here on the Florida Panthers Radio Network.
Pest Pro Ridall, trusted by the best to keep away the pests. For all your pest control needs, call the professionals at Pest Pro Ridall to schedule your appointment. 954-247-4087. Pest Pro Ridall provides pest control to homes, restaurants, hotels, offices, condominiums, warehouses. Call 954-247-4087 or go to mypestpro.com. mypestpro.com.
Hey Panthers fans, it's time to hunt with your new favorite delivery app. Download the ASAP app to get All of your game day needs delivered right to your door. Use code GOCATS to be entered in the Winner ASAP Dinner Sweepstakes for Panthers tickets, autographed merchandise, and more. Also, fans can order their concession favorites from their seats at all Panthers home games this season with ASAP.com in-seat mobile ordering. ASAP.com is the official mobile ordering partner of the Florida Panthers.
Welcome back. Time for period number 2 here from Scotiabank Arena in Toronto. Doug Plagens with you. Kevin Rogers back in our network studios. Paul Gantz, our on-set engineer. Danny Garcia back in studio control. 2-0. The Panthers lead through 20 minutes of Game 5. If the Panthers can win this one, they will punch a ticket to the Eastern Conference Final for the first time since 1996, where their opponent will be the Carolina Hurricanes. So the Hurricanes, they're standing by waiting to find out who they're going to play. The Panthers, they'd love to get that done and punch that ticket tonight. 2-0 Panthers through 1. Off and running here in the middle frame. Morgan Riley takes over for the Leafs. It's the Panthers in white, right to left. Toronto in blue, left to right. Puck play down to our right inside the Panthers zone. Mark Stahl drops one back. Brandon Montour up the far side. Tkachuk tied up, tried to give to Bennett. Marner kept it in for a moment. And now Matthew Tkachuk speed up the right side. He'll regather for the Panthers. Heads through neutral ice. Sam Bennett, high slot near circle. Shot saved. Well, the rebound out in front. Cousins took a whack at it, but Yarncroke got it to safety for Toronto. He'll backhand it out of the zone. And this one goes all the way down to our right. There won't be an icing here as Mark Stahl dumps Mitch Marner down to the ice along the end boards. Stahl around the end wall. He'll look over on that far side for Bennett to Cousins. And Nick Cousins scoots out through the neutral zone, gets across center, dumps it in. And back behind the Leafs net, Justin Hall taps it back for TJ Brody. 50 seconds off the clock here in the second period. 2-0 Panthers on first period goals from Aaron Ekblad on the power play and Carter Verhage at even strength. Here's Justin Hall on the near side for Toronto. He'll look rink wide off a bounce. William Nylander. He's shouldered by Barkov. Rolling puck down to the far corner. Loose and a sharp angle try from John Tavares is scooped up by Sergei Bobrovsky. His 14th save in the game so far. 1:09 off the clock here in the second period of action. And saw an interesting stat earlier. I'll give credit. Jackie Redmond from NHL Network tweeted it earlier today, but of 127 players coming in today who had played at least 40 minutes on the ice in the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs, 2 players have not been on the ice for a goal against at 5-on-5 yet. Those 2, Alexander Barkov and Eetu Luostarinen, both Panthers. It's a pretty staggering figure there as the puck's played out through the neutral zone. Neither of those 2 have been on the ice for a 5-on-5 goal against in this second round. Puck play down to our right. Here's Bobrovsky, gives to Forsling, had it poked away, loose back in behind the net. A try over at the far post. Tavares jamming away. Bobrovsky weathers the storm. And the puck played over on that far side of the ice. Reinhart drops it back for Anton Lundell. Backhanded through center and down to our left it goes. It's going to be handled by Timothy Liljegren. He'll launch it up the left side off the stick of Michael Bunting. He's dumped over and Ekblad knocked him down. The fans wanted a call, and there's not going to be one here. Bunting over on that far side takes a shot from Ekblad again, winds it around near side Shen. Luke Shen down behind the net. Loose puck played out in front by Bunting. Loose to the side of the goal, jammed at by Achari, and it's snared by Sergei Bobrovsky. And now Ekblad and Bunting having words here at the bottom of the near circle down to our right. 2 minutes off the clock in the second period. 2-0. It's the Panthers out in front of the Toronto Maple Leafs. In this one, first period goals, as I mentioned, from Ekblad and Verhage. Shots are 18-13 for Toronto. Panthers on the power play in the series after the 1-for-1 showing back in the first. They're 8 for 28. The Leafs were 0 for 2 on their power plays in the first. They're now 8 for 32 in the playoffs. Off the face-off, the Leafs have it down to our right inside the Panthers zone. Morgan Riley over on the far side, carries it down to the corner. He's bumped by Anthony Duclair. The puck punched around far side, out to the point it goes, and Bunting will hand it down behind the net around to the near side of the ice. It's poked along by Carter Verhage through the neutral zone. Bunting down to our left, and he'll have it for Toronto. Gives it across to the far side of the ice. Carried on. It's Riley to Achari. Nearly had it pulled away at center. Noel Achari battles through a check. Lugs it off to the near boards. Then ultimately lost the puck. And Radko Gudas able to bank it off the far boards. And this one goes all the way down to our left. Going to be an icing call against the Panthers. 17:26 to go in the second. The Panthers 2023 playoffs are presented by our friends at City Furniture. Folks, the total keeps climbing. Amarin Bank's Saves Reds program has collected 2,668 saves with $106,720 donated so far this season. Amarin Bank, imagine a bank that has your back. Face off far side of the ice down to our right. And off the draw, the Panthers scramble to grab possession. And Radko Gudas will saucer one high in the air, goes all the way down to our left. Joe Wall will tap this one aside for Timothy Liljegren. Pass on the near side, read nicely by Radko Gudas. He intercepts, gets over the line, dumps it deep into Toronto territory. Jake McCabe up the near side for Mitch Marner. Marner tried to send a pass on for Matthews, nearly turned it over, then Liljegren did turn it over. Sam Bennett near circle walks in, puts it toward the net, a bouncing puck. The Leafs don't clear. Cousins a shot, and that goes up and out of play. Matthews tried to clear, he put it right on Nick Cousins' stick here in the near circle. Cousins a shot that went off a Leaf, it looked like, and out of play. 3:05 into the second period, 2-0. Panthers over the Toronto Maple Leafs here in this one. Panthers trying to close out the series here tonight. And again, punch a ticket to the Eastern Conference Final. And especially, you'll get it done whenever you can get it done, but they'd love to get it done as soon as possible. Carolina knocked off New Jersey in 5 last night. So the Canes are resting right now. Face off near circle down to our left. Anton Lundell will be replaced by the aforementioned Eetu Luostarinen. Puck pulled back to Brandon Montour here on the near side, down to the corner. Montour side of the net, walks it in front. Couple of whacks at it. Save made by Wall, and he'll cover up. That number regarding Barkov and Luostarinen not being on the ice for a 5-on-5 goal against yet, what makes that even more staggering is they play on different lines. It'd be one thing if they were both on the same line and one line was having that kind of success, but it just shows the kind of 5-on-5 dominance at times the Panthers have had. Here's Montour, near side of the circle, a drive, and that deflects. It goes around and into the netting. But those are two guys on different lines playing a regular shift, playing regularly throughout the game. And that means that two of the Panthers' lines have been virtually unbeatable at 5-on-5. 16:43 left in the second, 2-0. Panthers over Toronto. Blink-182 playing overhead. They played in this building last night live. Happened to catch the show with Panthers video producer Dave Courtney. Picked up a couple last-minute tickets. Loose here at the side of the net. It's going to be pounced on by Wall. And it was Anton Lundell knocking on the door, trying to pull that puck off the side of the net. Joe Wall was able to cover up. 16:36 to go in the second, 2-0. It's the Panthers out in front of the Toronto Maple Leafs. The end where Joe Wall is currently positioned. That was where the stage was last night. Face off near circle down to our left. Eric Stahl leans in against Austin Matthews. And now Stahl has to step out. In comes Colin White. Puck goes to the near corner. It's played around by Luke Shen, far side. Morgan Riley got the clear. Austin Matthews up the wing, shouldered by Colin White. Now it's Mitch Marner finding it. Tried to spot the trailer. Eric Stahl, good job of the back check. He'll intercept, sends it on Zach Dalpe. Into the offensive end. Dalpe right circle, a shot save. Whoa, it's loose to the far circle, and Morgan Riley pounces on that one. He's going to walk it along. Panthers get a change, and Morgan Riley will walk it up the near side. He's going to be bumped by Mark Stahl. Got it down deep to Morgan Riley. Barkov finds it, gives to Verhaeghe, and the Panthers out of the zone. Verhaeghe sends it long. Duclair after it. Justin Hall got there first, around the back of the net. Justin Hall, a pass out to center into the skates of Ryan O'Reilly. That'll bounce to Barkov. Barkov, far side of the ice. And he'll be bumped over there, and then Verhaeghe to give a shoulder to O'Reilly. They battle on that far side. Then it's scooped rink wide by Morgan Riley. He may have gone off a deflection. That went up and into the seats here. SCOTIABANK Arena, 15:48 to go in the second, 2-0. It's the Panthers out front of the Toronto Maple Leafs. You can get your Panthers playoff tickets, FloridaPanthers.com, folks. Face off, center ice. Ticketmaster.com/Florida Panthers as well. Ryan O'Reilly pulls the puck back to T.J. Brody. He'll get on top of the Leafs logo, bounces it off Josh Mahura, and down to our right. Mahura and Nolachari tie up on the inboards. Puck scooped up here by Nick Cousins. Then he's got Ryan O'Reilly on him. 2-on-2 scrum on the inboards. O'Reilly, a pass out to the point, got away from Hall, and it goes all the way down to our left. Out of the net is Joe Wall. He'll walk it behind the Leafs goal. Gives to Brody, under some pressure from Bennett, around here to the near corner. Justin Hall into the neutral zone, and then it's kicked along by Achari, taken back by Bennett, right side Nick Cousins. He's bumped there hard by Hall over on the far side. In for the Panthers on the forecheck, Josh Mahura pinching in. Down along the inboards, Bennett gives to Nick Cousins. Cousins wrapped up by Ryan O'Reilly. They battle back in behind the goal. Cousins spun around, Kachuk in to help out. O'Reilly comes away with the puck. He'll walk it off to the far corner. Backhands around the inboards. Here's Justin Hall. Near side, looks long. And Nolachari able to scoop it up on a bounce. He waits for a trailer, gives to Bunting. He's bumped by Gudas. Puck came free. Achari on it. Giordano at the line. Long drive. Save Bobrovsky. Rebound to Smalling. Sergei Bobrovsky able to get on top of that before John Tavares could locate the rebound. 14:44 to go in the second. And a 2-0 Panthers lead over the Toronto Maple Leafs. The scoring coming back in the opening frame. And we'll have a face-off upcoming. Inside the Panthers zone. Get your Panthers playoffs gear, FLAteamshop.com to secure your Panthers playoff swag today. Hats, tees, hoodies, and more. Shop these exclusive items at FLAteamshop.com. Face-off far circle and to our right. Inside the Panthers zone, it's going to be a draw to the right to stick side of Sergei Bobrovsky. Sam Reinhart tied up on the face-off. Liljegren now to Giordano. A long shot gobbled up by Bobrovsky, who's now made 21 saves in the game on 21 Toronto shots. 14:40 left in the second. 2-0 Panthers. And, well, 21 shots, and we haven't gone halfway through this game yet. I would expect that clip to continue because you are probably going to see this Leafs team, if the score stays as is, probably going to see them start to gamble a little bit. Talked to Gus Forsling about that potential after the first period. Might see them start to get a little risky. Here's Nylander, long shot, pad save Bobrovsky. Tavares tried to center off the rebound. It was gobbled up, cleared by Forsling all the way down to our left. You might see this Leafs team take a few more chances as the game goes along and likely throw anything and everything on net. 14:19 to go here in this second period. Luostarinen holding the zone for the Panthers. It's pulled away. Kerfoot around the end boards. Rolling puck near side. Kerfoot darts across the ice. He's got it. Gives to Tavares at center. Tavares dances in. Pulls up left point. Launches it on goal. And a save made by Bobrovsky on a long distance attempt. Now Giordano and Ekblad in front of the net. Exchanging a couple of shoves. 14:04 left in the second. 2-0 Panthers in front of the Leafs. And a face-off upcoming inside Panthers zone to the right of Sergei Bobrovsky, who came into this game with a save percentage over .930 in the series. That'll get the job done. And I'd imagine 23 out of 23 so far. He stopped, probably getting close to that .940 range. Don't have the math right in front of me. Here's Shen, near side of the ice. He'll play it along the boards. That goes to the corner, and Ryan O'Reilly with it. Barkov on him. Pass across. Takes a bounce. Morgan Riley running to by Duclair. Puck scooped up by Mark Stahl. He'll loft it out of the zone. Luke Shen bats it out to center. Morgan Riley to the right wing side. Marner dumps it along the boards. Onto the end wall. It's Montour there. He'll backhand it up the near side. Verhaeghe. He'll play it up the boards into a foot race now with Luke Shen. Verhaeghe on it. Finds the trailer. Montour high slot. Shot. Saved by Wall with the right pad. Puck here on the near side. Mark Stahl a drive. In through traffic. Joe Wall reels that in. He'll hold on to it. 13:27 left in the second. 2-0 Panthers over Toronto. It's the Panthers a 2-0 lead and a 3-1 lead in the series, trying to close it out tonight. 13:27 to go in the second. Back to Toronto in a moment on the Florida Panthers Radio Network.
Hey Panthers fans, it's time to hunt with your new favorite delivery app. Download the ASAP app to get all of your game day needs delivered right to your door. Use code GOCATS to be entered in the Winner ASAP Dinner Sweepstakes for Panthers tickets, autographed merchandise, and more. Also, fans can order their concession favorites from their seats at all Panthers home games this season with ASAP.com in-seat mobile ordering. ASAP.com is the official mobile ordering partner of the Florida Panthers. Hey, Florida Panthers fans, want to kick your game up a notch? Then it's time to get drafted. Hit the bar and try a Truly Draft. All the refreshing flavor of Truly Hard Seltzer now on tap. Whether you need a pick-me-up between periods or a sip to celebrate that short-handed goal, Truly Hard Seltzer has you covered. With 100 calories, 1 gram of sugar, and 5% alcohol, there's no better drink for a long game. Find it near you at trulyhardseltzer.com. Truly Hard Seltzer Beverage Company, Boston, Massachusetts. Please drink responsibly.
While the Panthers bring the heat to the rink, Tabañero brings the heat to the FLA Live Arena and all of South Florida. Tabañero is the official hot sauce of the Florida Panthers, and now you can enjoy it at concessions in every flavor. Original, sweet and spicy, curry habanero, and extra hot. Tabañero's premium sauce blends are made right here in South Florida from all natural, locally sourced ingredients. Find them in Walmart, Winn-Dixie, and Sedano stores, and bring home the king of flavor, Tabañero.
13:27 to go in the second period. 2-0. It's the Panthers out in front of the Leafs. Become a Panthers territory member today. Get access to playoff tickets, full season tickets, or premier plans available now. FloridaPanthers.com/territory memberships to get in now. Limited access remains. Panthers playoffs presented by City Furniture. If you're just joining us, Ekblad on the power play and Verhaeghe at even strength. Back in the first period. Those are the 2 goals that have been scored so far in this game. Have the Panthers up by a pair, 2-0. Closer and closer to the game's halfway point. Panthers control the offensive end off the draw. Here's Montour. Cuts in along the near side, near circle, backhand shot. Save Wall. And the puck picked up by Nylander. He'll walk it through that far circle. Nylander off to the far wing. It's Austin Matthews. He'll dump it in for Toronto. Down to the end boards. Tavares, Nylander, Matthews, the forward line. Sheldon Keefe loading it up a bit here. Coming out of the commercial break, puck cleared to center, and Zach Dalpe will dump it down to our left for the Panthers. Back in behind the net. Joe Wall, Justin Hall near side. Looks across the ice. Austin Matthews off to the right side, trying to feed Tavares. Couldn't get it to him. Nick Cousins will dump it back in for the Panthers. Back behind the net. Wall gives to the near side. Gave it away to Matthew Tkachuk, who tried to center in front. It was bounced away off a Leaf stick. Now to the far corner. Tkachuk runs it down. Over along the boards. David Kampf able to come away with the puck. Poked it to center. And the Panthers start up back at their own line. Here's Nick Cousins off to the near boards. Sam Bennett. He'll guide it in back behind the Leafs net. Joe Wall, the goaltender, off to the far side. Off a bounce from the high glass. He'll spot Lafferty. Up the left side, Calle Yarncroke. Along the left board, slams on the brakes. Rolls it to the corner. Kampf went in that far corner. Gives to Lafferty. Out to the far point, Morgan Riley. Morgan Riley, long shot. Tip, they score. Toronto's 12:10 to go in the second. The Leafs back to within 1. Morgan Riley let the shot go from the point. Not sure what that hit out in front. Looked like Sergei Bobrovsky may have even gotten a piece of it, but the Toronto Maple Leafs, they'll take it any way they can get it. Riley through traffic, just snuck that one through, maybe even gone off a Panther. There were 2 Leafs, 2 Panthers stacked out in front of the net. Well, Morgan Riley, he may not always be the guy that gets the headlines, but he has been as solid as can be in the playoffs for his team. Down behind the net. Anton Lundell had it poked away. Eetu Luostarinen near side. Mahura at the line. Long shot, left pad save Wall, and it appears the building woke up a little bit after that Morgan Riley goal. Looks like for now it's his. Puck chipped along the near side by Achari. And into the near corner. Gudas is dumped over by Bunting, and the fans really coming out of their seats for that. Puck played here on the near side. O'Reilly to the line. Achari back down behind the net. Gudas and Bunting collide again. And the puck will be handled by Luostarinen. Fed on for Lundell. Out go the Panthers. Lundell off a bounce. Sam Reinhart near side. He's running too hard by McCabe. Leafs throwing the body around a bit here. And Jake McCabe now takes over deep inside the Leaf zone. It's the Panthers right to left, Toronto left to right here in the second. 11:13 to go in this middle frame. And the atmosphere has become raucous, to say the least. The volume turned up a bit here inside Scotiabank Arena. In on the forecheck for Toronto, it's Kerfoot. Down behind the net, Tavares off to the far corner. It's Carter Verhaeghe. He's upended. Loose puck over on that far side. Barkov able to pull it out of trouble. Up to the far boards. Verhaeghe scoots out to center ice. Right side, Duclair on the move. Brody able to keep it away from him. Duclair runs it down behind the net. The puck is collected by Justin Hall. On for Marner. He'll cruise up the right side. Feeds Matthews to Marner. In front, too far for Kerfoot. Off a bounce. Around for Matthews behind the net. It's off his skates. He tries to work away from Barkov. Gives to Marner on the far side. Marner mishandles. And Verhaeghe able to get it to center. Here's Forsling across the center circle. Drifts off to the near side. He'll just dump it down. Gets it deep, never a bad idea. Around it goes Matthew Tkachuk to the line. Ekblad, big drive, and that's wide off the inboards of Bounce, and Wall will cover. 10:15 to go in the second. Everyone to their feet here inside Scotiabank Arena as they're trying to urge on their Leafs. Well, this Panthers team is fed off the hostile environments throughout the playoffs. Panthers coming into this game 5-1 on the road in the playoffs. Oddly enough, Toronto, they're 4-1 on the road in the playoffs. It's the Leafs who are 1-4 inside this building in the postseason. Luke Shen around here to the near side. It's poked along by Nylander. Ekblad bats it along the near boards. Bennett chipped it on for Tkachuk. Left side into the offensive end near circle. A shot. Glove save made by Joe Wall with exactly 10 minutes to play here in the second. We've hit the game's halfway point. 2-1 Panthers over Toronto. Here in the middle frame, the Leafs have gotten one back after the Panthers had two in the first. Panthers in white, right to left. Toronto in blue, left to right. Second period, so each team dealing with the long change. Doug Plagens here with you. Kevin Rogers in our network studios. Paul Gatz, our on-set engineer. Danny Garcia back in studio control. The Panthers lead this second-round series 3-1, trying to advance to the Eastern Conference Final. If they can get a win here tonight, they would take on Carolina if they punch their ticket this evening. Puck played out to the neutral zone. Sam Lafferty to Noel Acciari, and go the Leafs down to our right along shot. Acciari, and that one just over the net. On the inboards, Ekblad takes a shove from Acciari. Ekblad got the clear up the near side. Brody backhands it along. Timothy Liljegren sweeps it into the Panthers zone. Around it goes, far corner. Ekblad. Backhand far side, hopped over the stick of Duclair. TJ Brody shuffles it to the line, out of the reach of Liljegren. And down to our left goes Liljegren to track this one down for Toronto. Here on the near side, it's Camp. Up to the line, long shot, stick save. Bobrovsky, far boards. Colin White looked to clear, kept in by O'Reilly. Brian O'Reilly over on the far boards. He's tied up. Gives to Bunting, to the line, Giordano across McCabe, a shot, a wobbler, it's off the mask of Bobrovsky, it looked like, and out of play. 9:11 left in the second, 2-1. It's the Panthers in front of the Leafs. 24 saves in the game so far for Bobrovsky, and he's helped keep the Panthers up one past the game's halfway point in Game 5. We will bring it back to Scotiabank Arena here in just a moment. 2-1 Panthers on the Florida Panthers Radio Network.
Get ready, South Florida hockey fans. Funky Buddha is back as official craft beer of the Florida Panthers. Cheer on the Cats with a cold Funky Buddha beer in hand all season long. And be sure to visit the revamped Funky Buddha tap room at FLA Live Arena, just across from Pantherland, for a variety of ferociously funky draft beers and good vibes. From the Floridian Wheat Beer to Hop Gun IPA, Funky Buddha is bringing exceptional beer and unique brewery experience to every home game. See you there, and go Panthers. Funky Buddha Brewery, Oakland Park, Florida. Get funky responsibly.
Are you jealous of your neighbor's or best friend's outdoor kitchen? You can have your own in 3 easy steps. Go visit ProfitOutdoorLiving.com. Schedule your free outdoor kitchen design consult with one of our design specialists. We do a live virtual session with you using our very own 3D design software to create the outdoor kitchen of your dreams. We have dealers throughout the United States and in some cases ship direct. Don't forget to visit us at ProfitOutdoorLiving.com. Look us up on TikTok at Profit Kitchens or give us a call at 718-532-4333.
Imagine a bank that lives for assists. One that sees their customers as part of a team with a common goal to achieve your dreams. Well, imagine that. There is one. We're Amerant. We're ready to help you wherever you are in life. And just as importantly, wherever you want to go. Because at Amerant, we want you to live a life beyond what you could imagine. Amerant, official bank of the Florida Panthers. Member FDIC.
Panthers, 9-11 left in the second. Panthers lead this best-of-7 series 3-1. Never too late to become a hockey player. Get in on the action with the Panthers Adult Learn to Play. All participants will take part in 12 weeks of on-ice training and will receive a full set of hockey equipment to use during and keep after the program. Go to FloridaPanthers.com/Adult Learn to Play for more information and to register. Face-off near circle down to our right. Inside the Panthers zone, Panthers playoff presented by City Furniture. Anton Lundell leans in against John Tavares. Off the face-off, Panthers have it. Mark Stahl high into the air. This one bounces over the Leafs line. Liljegren back to play it for Toronto. Hands it around. Here's Morgan Rielly. That goal is credited to Morgan Rielly. That Toronto tally here in the second period went off a Panther out in front. Now it's going to be handled here by Liljegren up the near side. Off Matthews, down here to the near side. Nylander blew a tire. One-hand centering feed attempted. It's going to take a bounce now. Matthews has it here on the near boards. Cuts down to the corner. Matthews back behind the Panthers net. Over to the far circle. Cycles out to the far point across Morgan Rielly. Floats it toward the net. Didn't get it through that time. Liljegren to the far corner. Lundell kept it to the outside. Matthews runs it down. He'll wind this one around. And Morgan Rielly scoots in here on the near boards. Down behind the net, Tavares. Tavares along the end wall out front for Rielly. He was tied up. Couldn't make contact with that. Panthers out of their zone quickly. Through center goes Montour. Puck play down to our left. Back in behind the Leafs net. Justin Hall is there. And Jake McCabe will drag it along for Toronto. McCabe up the far wing. Out of the reach of Bunting. Goes down to our right. Morgan Rielly. Now it's going to be handled on the inboard. Josh Mahura up the near boards. Nick Cousins will float it down to our left. Not far enough for an icing. And it's Mark Giordano. He'll shuffle it around for Toronto. Gets the clear towards center. Gudas able to keep in front of him. He gets wrapped up by Ryan O'Reilly. Jake McCabe across for Giordano. On the wing for Bunting. Pass behind him. Goes deep into the Panthers zone. Radko Gudas quick to clear. Rink wide on the money for Tkachuk on a bounce. Brought in near side shot. Tkachuk save wall. And he'll hold. 7:31 to go in the second. Some shoving out in front. Colin White there with TJ Brody. Now Tkachuk and Bunting having words. 7:31 to go in this middle frame. 2-1. Panthers over Toronto. Breaking news. Aerosmith says, peace out. Farewell tour with the Black Crowes coming to FLA Live Arena October 20th. Tickets on sale now. Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss Aerosmith's final encore. Peace out. Also, Duran Duran bringing their future past tour at FLA Live Arena June 18th. Tickets at Ticketmaster.com. Here on the near side of the ice. Face-off down to our left in the Leafs zone. Eric Stahl to the corner. He's got Austin Matthews on him. And a loose puck along the boards. Hall for Nylander. Couldn't advance it. Now it's Matthews. Behind the net, Hall. You might see the Leafs get desperate, take some chances. You're probably going to see Sheldon Keefe shorten his bench. I'd imagine you're going to see the big guns for Toronto even more frequently as this game goes along. That could obviously have an adverse effect, too. Here's Forsling off for Duclair. A little far for him. Joe Wall able to push it to the near side. Verhage to the end boards. Duclair tied up. Centers in front. Got to pass away. Nobody there. Barkov runs down far side to the point. Montour. Big shot. And a save made through traffic by Joe Wall. 6:50 to go in the second. Montour and Nylander, a couple of words. Shots even at 26. 2-1. Panthers in front. And a face-off upcoming inside the Toronto zone. Well, getting back to the Toronto goal that was scored here in the second period. Morgan Rielly's fourth the playoffs from Lafferty and Camp. A couple of role players who've been noticeable for Toronto, Lafferty and Camp. But if there's one takeaway, and you got to give credit where it's due in this series, seeing the Panthers and Leafs play so frequently and especially late in the regular season. Morgan Rielly's a heck of a defenseman, and he can do it at all ends of the ice. He doesn't really get the headlines that the rest of the big guns on the Maple Leafs do, but he's just a good player in all areas, and he's gotten Toronto on the board here in the middle frame, and now he'll catch up to one. Centers toward the front of the net. It's off Mark Stahl, and Mark Stahl's shaken up. And Mark Stahl back to his feet. Panthers trainer Dave DiNapoli onto the ice to have a look. And not quite sure where that one got Mark Stahl. He's heading off the ice under his own power, of course, which is certainly good. Gets back to the bench. I have a replay monitor up here. It was a centering pass, kind of went off the, maybe got him in the neck or something like that, off the side of the helmet perhaps. And he's not going to go down the tunnel. He's just going to take his seat over on the bench, get his helmet readjusted. Maybe getting a little ice over on the bench. But 6:36 remaining here in the second. Mark Stahl played all 82 in the regular season for the Panthers. And of course, has appeared now in all 12 playoff games. And you look at the year that Brandon Montour put together, career year, breakout year. His partner from Wire to Wire was Mark Stahl this season. Mark deserves a lot of credit for the big year that Brandon Montour put up. Face-off far circle down to our right. It'll be Sam Reinhart leaning in against David Camp. And it looks like we're going to do it again. But it was the stay-at-home stability that Mark Stahl provided and that kind of consistency. Just part of what allowed Brandon Montour to really break out this season. Reinhart and Camp on the draw, and Reinhart wins that one from Camp, which is no easy task. However, in the corner, the loose puck corralled by Lafferty, who got in hard for the Leafs to the end wall. Backhand poked up the near side. Camp, he lost it. The puck taken back by Etulo Ostarina for the Panthers. He'll send it down to our left. Luke Shen after it. Around the end boards for Morgan Riley. He'll fling this one out through the neutral zone down to our right, and it's an icing call against Toronto. 6:12 to go here in the second. 2-1. It's the Panthers in front of the Leafs. They had a face-off upcoming. Inside the Toronto zone, near circle down to our left to the stick side of the goaltender Joe Woll, the 24-year-old, second career playoff start for him. Fourth appearance in these playoffs for Toronto. Had some mop-up duty in a lopsided Leafs loss to Tampa Bay back in round one. But he's now started back-to-back games in relief of Ilya Samsonov, who left with an injury in Game 3. Puck play down to our right. And this one is going to be another icing call against Toronto. Draws the ire of the fans here at Scotiabank Arena. 6:06 to go in the second period. A 2-1 Panthers lead. Bennett, Tkachuk, and Cousins on the ice. Mentioned earlier, Matthew Tkachuk named a finalist for the Hart Trophy. So big congratulations to him. Connor McDavid of Edmonton. David Pastrnak of Boston, the other finalists. Off the face-off, Forsling near point down here for Tkachuk near half-boards to the corner. Bennett in front. Cousins wrapped up by Luke Shen. And the puck picked up by Kerfoot. Over to Camp. Camp in that far corner, had it pulled away, but then the Leafs scramble to recover. Kerfoot didn't clear, neither did Camp. Cousins looking at the far circle for Tkachuk. Pass didn't make it. Now Cousins back on it, winds it around. Ekblad, far circle, puts it toward the net. Tipped by Bennett. Save made by Woll. Back out front, it's Tkachuk. He couldn't pull the trigger there, and Morgan Riley fails to clear. Forsling, long shot, it's off Joe Woll. Got a shoulder on it, and that goes up and out of play into the netting. 5:33 to go in the second. 2-1. Panthers in front here at Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, trying to punch a ticket to the Eastern Final if they can get this thing done here tonight. Step aside, come back with the rest of the second period next. 5:33 to go in the middle frame. 2-1 Panthers on the Florida Panthers Radio Network.
Pest Pro Ridol, trusted by the best to keep away the pests. For all your pest control needs, call the professionals at Pest Pro Ridol to schedule your appointment. 954-247-4087. Pest Pro Ridol provides pest control to homes, restaurants, hotels, offices, condominiums, warehouses. Call 954-247-4087 or go to mypestpro.com. mypestpro.com.
Barriers. I'm all about breaking them. Hi, it's Luis Fonsi, international recording artist and South Florida resident. When it comes to creating music, I love mixing different musical styles and creating something new and unexpected. Ford builds SUVs and trucks the same way, breaking barriers with what you expect. Ford delivers strength, capability, and mixes in a level of comfort and style that's new, exciting, and perfect for South Florida. Visit your local Ford dealer today to get a great deal on a new Ford SUV or truck.
You love watching, following, and sometimes even playing the game. Don't ever let an injury keep you from it. Let the All-Pro staff at Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, the official sports medicine provider of the Florida Panthers, get you back to what you love. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information. Doesn't it feel good to know you can go where the pros go?
5:33 to play here in the second period. 2-1 Panthers over the Leafs. Panthers fans, time to hunt. See schedules, ticketing, watch parties, merch, more information. FloridaPanthers.com/playoff central. That's where to go for all your 2023 playoffs information. Panthers playoffs presented by City Furniture. Doug Flagans here with you at Scotiabank Arena. We'll be checking in with Kevin Rogers during our second intermission show. A reminder to get your tweets out. Tweet the broadcast at Doug Flagans. World-famous Twitter segment coming up. It has been world famous lately. We've gotten representation from all over the globe. So looking forward to more of that coming up in our second intermission show. Alexander Barkov leans in against John Tavares. Tavares wins that face-off, and Marner will charge out of the Leaf zone. Backhand near side. Ryan O'Reilly pushes it over the Panthers line. Near side Barkov. A check on Tavares. Verhaeghe finds it. Backhand around the end wall. It's taken back by Jake McCabe. And Ryan O'Reilly down behind the net. Around the end boards it goes. Near side Verhaeghe. Verhaeghe, rink wide. Duclair tracks this one down. Over on the far side of the ice. He'll give to Barkov. Far circle shot blocked. And the puck goes out the line. Montour to the corner. Verhaeghe backhand in front. Barkov holds to the front of the net. A shot. And that rolls wide. Verhaeghe on the end boards. Duclair over to Mark Stahl. Good to see him right back into the action for the Panthers. Over on that far side of the ice. Kept it down low before it's regathered by Jake McCabe. 4:52 to play here in the second. 2-1 Panthers over the Leafs. Shots 28-26 for the Panthers. A game that's seen a lot of pucks on net both ways. Long stretch pass. Matthews almost getting past the defense, but Forsling reaching out to poke it away at the last second. Back go the Panthers on a counterattack. Here's Reinhart near side of the circle in front. A shot. Wall the save. And a loose puck is corralled by Nylander. He'll walk it across far side of the ice. William Nylander on the left wing. He'll find Bunting. Played down behind the Panthers net. Morgan Riley pinching in. He's back behind the Panthers goal down to our right to Matthews here in the near corner. And he'll shake off a check from Reinhart, but the puck came free. It's played to the line. Giordano kept it in. Forsling now gathers it in for the Panthers. Muscled it to neutral ice. The Leafs try to bring it back in. Bunting may have gotten clipped with a stick there. Panthers may have gotten away with one. 4 minutes to go in the second. 2-1. Panthers over the Leafs. Here on the near side, Giordano. He'll dump it in down to our right. Around the end boards it goes. Sam Reinhart, far side on for Sam Bennett. Bennett up the wing for the Panthers toward the offensive zone across the Leafs line. Long distance try, and it's off Justin Hall. And out of play. 3:45 to go in the second. 2-1. It's the Panthers over Toronto. 2 in the first for the Panthers, 1 in the second here for the Leafs. That's the scoring in this game. Panthers fans, Cats on the hunt. Come catch Cats in style. Purchase a playoff game suite today. Premium seats and eats this postseason. FloridaPanthers.com is where to go for more information. Face-off near circle end to our left, Sam Bennett. Against David Camp on the face-off. Loose puck in the circle. Tkachuk on it. Tkachuk looking back for Cousins. Lafferty intercepting. He'll give to Nolachari. And up the far side, Radko Gudas got a piece of Nolachari. The puck played inside the Panthers zone. Mahura run into by Lafferty. Then Cousins is blasted in the corner by Nolachari. And the Leafs will have control. Here's Camp across to an open Hall. Hall near circle. Trying to shot. It's off a skate. Ricochets to the line. Camp kept it in near half boards. Justin Hall. Behind the net, Lafferty. Lafferty out to the far point for Brody. Brody, Camp straight on. A shot blocked by Bennett. And the puck cleared by Tkachuk down to our left. Joe Wall, the netminder, out to play it. David Camp takes over, and he'll drift behind the Toronto net. Up the far side, Morgan Riley zips it across the ice. He's got TJ Brody. To center he goes, and he'll wrist it in. Around the end boards, Carter Verhaeghe, far side of the ice. Verhaeghe tied up, looked to play it out beyond the line. O'Reilly kept it in. A funny bounce across. Here's Morgan Riley on net. Backhand try! And where is it? Is it under Sergei Bobrovsky? The fans started to celebrate. We have no signal. The Leafs are celebrating. 2:49 to go in the second. Morgan Riley believes this went in. He's running the bench for the celebration, but we haven't seen a signal yet. The fans believe it went in. Morgan Riley carried it to the net. Oh, this is going to be close. They're going to look at this one. replay I had a chance to see, that puck is right there. And I can't give you a verdict based on the angle I just saw up here in the booth. So 2:49 to go in the second, 2-1. Panthers over Toronto for now. The Leafs think they've tied the game. They're looking at it right now at the tablet down there, or two referees, Jean Hebert and Kyle Raymond,
to determine if the puck completely crossed the goal line.
Well, you heard it right there. They're going to review this one. Kyle Raymond, the referee, on the microphone. They're reviewing it to see if it totally crossed the goal line. Now, the positioning of Sergei Bobrovsky's pad is going to make this one tough to see. And they have to have conclusive evidence, as you know. Morgan Riley cut through the right circle, dragged it in front. Didn't really get a clean shot away, but he had enough force on the puck that he was able to get the scoring chance. Ooh, this is close. Saw another angle of it. Yeah, that's about as close as you can get. Well, we wait for the official ruling. There's got to be a better angle than the one that I just saw, but I'll tell you what, it was close enough that it wouldn't surprise me if they determined this one went in. It was that close. If they have a better view, they might be able to make the 100% determination. So the Panthers right now in danger of seeing this game get tied up at the hands of the Toronto Maple Leafs. 2:49 to go in the second. Morgan Riley ran the bench in the celebration as soon as it happened. He seemed to be certain that that puck went in. And they're taking a long look at this one. And they're going to make sure they do their due diligence on it. Obviously, this is a critical juncture and a critical game for both teams. And the Leafs all start to celebrate. And that's one thing that you watch enough. There are plays you could be uncertain about, but a lot of times the body language of the players tends to tell you what you want to know. Now, that being said, some of that always has the potential to be a sales job. 2:49 left in the second, 2-1. It's the Panthers in front of Toronto, and they are still looking this thing over. If it's a goal, it would be Morgan Riley's second of the game. And he's been all over the ice for the Leafs in this one. And the tough part about it, and the fortunate part for the Panthers, obviously this has to be conclusive, but the positioning of Sergei Bobrovsky's pad, at least on the angle that I saw when they attempted to show an overhead view on the Sportsnet broadcast here in Canada, the positioning of Sergei's pad kind of eliminated the use of the overhead cam. Because the puck was under the pad. 2:49 to go in this second period. Oh, yeah, I think we just saw another angle here. I think that puck might be in the net. Yeah, this game could be tied up. That eruption that you just heard here in the building was a different replay view that we hadn't seen yet. They showed it overhead. And you heard the reaction of the fans here at Scotiabank Arena. They saw what I saw. We haven't gotten the final verdict yet, but that last angle they showed, that puck looks like it's in the net. Obviously, it has to be entirely across the line. We haven't seen any reaction from the bench, from either bench. And they have taken their time on this, but it looks like they've reached a verdict. Let's see what we have.
After review, calling the ice stand, no goal. The play is dead before the puck crossed the line.
So they determined that the play was dead before the puck crossed the line. So based on that, they say the puck did cross the line. That was that angle that they just showed. But they say the play was dead before the puck crossed the line. So that changes the whole equation. Uh-oh, the fans are throwing debris on the ice. This is not good. 2:49 left in the third. 2-1, the Panthers in front. And they gave away rally towels tonight. If you didn't know they gave away rally towels tonight, this demonstration would reveal that they gave away rally towels tonight. Well, there is anything in sports that is absolutely unnecessary. It's the throwing of objects onto the playing surface. Oh, we got water bottles. The arena crews come onto the ice here to clean up. I hope they give the Leafs a penalty. I hope the Leafs fans get their team a penalty here because of this, because it's absolutely unacceptable. Now we've got people shaking the glass down to our left. .249 left in the second. 2-1, the Panthers are in front. And the warning to stop throwing things on the ice has come, and it's come far too late. What were they waiting for on that? Oh, there's the objects come. This is just an unacceptable display by, and it's not everybody. It's not everybody. It's a handful of folks. But it's just not what you want to see. 2:49 to go in the second. 2-1 Panthers over the Leafs. Well, hey, if they determined the whistle was blown, if the play was dead, then the play was dead. It's the way it goes sometimes. It's a long season, over 82-plus playoffs. Sometimes that's going to go for you, sometimes that's going to go against you. They saw a far circle down to our right. And they're getting the ice surface cleaned up. .249 to go in the second. Hopefully some fans have been sent home early from this one, because our ice crews had their work cut out for them. And they hand it to those folks for responding as quickly as they can here at Scotiabank Arena to get the playing surface back into full working order. 2:49 to go in the second. 2-1. It's the Panthers over the Leafs. And I tell you what, this is one of those things. You know, fans get frustrated. People are emotionally invested. People care about their teams. It's obvious. We all do. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. Florida Panthers Radio Network.
The biggest names in the game.
Quickly in. Here's Giroux going to the net. Shoots one. He scores!
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Well, we're back and ready to roll here. Back to live action. Gus Forsling, far side. Anton Lundell into the neutral zone. You'd love to see the Panthers bury one here late in the second. Puck play down to our right. Ryan O'Reilly along the end boards. It's Ekblad to the near side. Forsling up the wall at Tulowo-Storinen. Really quieted the building down. Here's Mitch Marner down to our left for Toronto. Across the ice, Morgan Riley. Up the wing, John Tavares. He'll walk in top of the far circle. Makes a move into that far circle. Looks down low. Heads behind the net. Pass out to the line. It's Morgan Riley again straight on. Morgan Riley off to the left point across Tavares. Top of the right circle. He'll hand it off for Marner. Marner a shot off the iron. And it rockets over to the far boards, and Morgan Riley plays it down behind the net. Into the near corner. The puck pushed along the near side. Sam Reinhart will walk it out along the near boards and down to our left. This one goes around to the far corner. TJ Brody. Back for the Leafs. He'll have it. Back in the trapezoid. TJ Brody off to the near corner. Justin Hall, long pass out of the zone. Here's Austin Matthews. In a shot, a save, Bobrovsky. And Mark Stahl kept it away from Bunting here on the near side. Tkachuk able to clear down to our left. Brody after it. Rolls in on net. And Wall covers. Cousins dumped over by Brody. 1:36 to go in the second. 2-1 the score. I'm actually pretty surprised that the Leafs weren't assessed a delay of game penalty because of the objects on the ice. And again, it's just a handful of people. It's not everybody. There are a ton of great hockey fans in this region. 1:36 to go in the second. 2-1. It's the Panthers in front of Toronto, but the game was on hold there for a little bit. Face-off near circle down to our left. Inside the Leafs zone. 2-1. The Panthers over the Leafs. Barkov on for the offensive end draw. Barkov with Verhaeghe and Duclair. Montour and Mark Stahl defensively. David Kampf in the near circle down to our left. Off the face-off, the puck squirts out to the near board, swatted out of the zone by Lafferty. And now Brandon Montour up the near side. Barkov will dump it in. No, that didn't get deep, and the Leafs come out quickly. Lafferty back across, long shot, Yarncroke, and it's blocked away by Bobrovsky. Here in the near corner, Barkov looked to clear, kept in by Yarncroke. Hall across Brody, left point. Brody back to Justin Hall, right point. Hall, center of the blue line. Kampf has it on the backhand. He'll scoop it down low, cut off by Verhaeghe on a nice defensive read, and he's able to clear out through center. TJ Brody backed inside the Leafs zone. Minute to play here in the second period. 2-1, Panthers over Toronto. To Hall here on the near side. Dumped in. Around far corner it goes. Montour a jam at it. Anton Lundell taken down by Matthews. Far circle. Lundell back to his feet. He has the puck. He'll sky one out to center. And this one takes a bounce at the center line. In goes Jake McCabe for the Leafs here on the near side. Poked away for Verhaeghe. Now Reinhart off to the races down to our left. Reinhart near circle to the front of the goal. And it's paddled away by Joe Wall. Cleared by McCabe to center. And Aaron Ekblad backed up for the Panthers. Up the far side for Lewis Arena. Tied up. In go the Leafs. 27 seconds on the clock. Offside call against Toronto. A close one, but it is whistled for offside. 26.4 seconds, and that's what remains here in the second. 2-1. It's the Panthers over Toronto. And a face-off upcoming. Sam Bennett's going to take this draw. Only one goal scored here in the middle frame, and it belonged to Morgan Riley. There was another near goal that was looked at for a long time that would have belonged to Morgan Riley, but they determined that the play was blown dead before the puck crossed the line. Off the face-off, puck pulled back by Tavares. Riley for Marner. It's dumped in with 20 seconds in the period. Down to our right into the Panthers zone. Aaron Ekblad sends one along, gloved by O'Reilly. Here on the near side, Tavares. Now O'Reilly in front, jams at it, gets crossed up with Tkachuk, and they both go down to the ice. Now Nick Cousins will charge along. Brought down to our left, Bennett near circle, plays one down to the far corner. And back behind the Leafs net, Marner on it. That's it for 40 minutes. And there's going to be a little altercation back behind the goal as the clock hits zeros. 2-1 Panthers through two. Shots 30-29. How's that for a shot total through 40 minutes? I'd imagine we're going to see a lot thrown at both goaltenders coming up in period number 3. So off to our second intermission show we go. 2-1 Panthers through 2. Coming up in our second intermission, Kevin Rogers will be joined by Jameson Alla from FloridaPanthers.com, the Territory Talk podcast, which you can find at FloridaPanthers.com/Territory Talk. That's coming up in our second intermission. After that, we'll have the JetBlue out-of-town scoreboard. Kevin's got an update on the other action across the Stanley Cup playoffs. And also the world-famous Twitter segment. A lot of tweets coming in. Keep those coming. At Doug Plagans on Twitter. Looking forward to hearing from everybody tuned in tonight. 2-1 Panthers through 2 as the Panthers are looking to punch a ticket to the Eastern Conference Final for the first time since 1996. If the Panthers win tonight, they would close this series out in 5 games, and they would move on to a conference final matchup with the Carolina Hurricanes. That's if the Panthers can get the win tonight. If the Leafs get the win tonight, that'll force a Game 6 at FLA Live Arena in Sunrise on Sunday. At a time to be determined, the Panthers will try and avoid that. If you're a Jameson Alla fan, you're in luck. He's just stepped into the broadcast booth. He'll chat with Kevin Rogers next in our second intermission show. It's the Panthers 2, Leafs 1 through 2 on the Florida Panthers Radio Network.
Get ready, South Florida hockey fans. Funky Buddha is back as official craft beer of the Florida Panthers. Cheer on the Cats with a cold Funky Buddha beer in hand all season long. And be sure to visit the revamped Funky Buddha tap room at FLA Live Arena, just across from Pantherland, for a variety of ferociously funky draft beers and good vibes. From the Floridian Wheat Beer to Hop Gun IPA, Funky Buddha is bringing exceptional beer and unique brewery experience to every home game. See you there, and go Panthers. Funky Buddha Brewery, Oakland Park, Florida. Get funky responsibly.
Are you jealous of your neighbor's or best friend's outdoor kitchen? You can have your own in 3 easy steps. Go visit profitoutdoorliving.com. Schedule your free outdoor kitchen design consult with one of our design specialists. We do a live virtual session with you using our very own 3D design software to create the outdoor kitchen of your dreams. We have dealers throughout the United States and in some cases ship direct. Don't forget to visit us at profitoutdoorliving.com. Look us up on TikTok at Profit Kitchens or give us a call at 718-532-4333.
Do you have too many reward programs to keep track of? Have you ever wondered what your points are actually worth? Soon you'll be able to free your loyalty points and pay your way with Points Cash, the new way to reward yourself. Our app will allow you to easily convert participating loyalty program points into cash, giving you new and exciting ways to engage your favorite teams and support your favorite players in and out of the stadium. No game, no problem. Simply transfer your loyalty points to the mobile wallet and make purchases with the value of your points. Reward your loyalty better this season and download the Points Cash app. Coming soon. Points Cash is an official partner of the Florida Panthers.
Choose to see clearly. Stop getting foggy glasses while watching the game. No glasses, no contact lenses. Call Dr. Bosom, the Panthers eye surgeon at 954-442-1133. Plus, just by mentioning the Panthers, they'll give you $1,000 off your procedure and they're offering 0% financing for 2 years. CorrectVision.com, the only eye center in South Florida to offer all 5 vision correction procedures. Be sure to schedule your free consultation. Call 954-442-1133 or visit CorrectVision.com.
This is the Florida Panthers' second intermission report on the Florida Panthers Radio Network.
Time now for After 40. Kevin Rogers and Jameson All of FloridaPanthers.com with you. Panthers lead the Maple Leafs 2-1 after 40 minutes of play. We played 2 periods so far at Scotiabank Arena. Panthers win tonight. They advance to the Eastern Conference Finals against the Carolina Hurricanes. If the Maple Leafs win, we have Game 6 Sunday at FLA Live Arena. And let's now bring in Jameson All of FloridaPanthers.com. And before we get to the goals, let's get to the goal that wasn't a goal, and that was Morgan Riley late in the second period, Jameson. It looked like Sergei Bobrovsky made the stop, whistle blew, puck went over the goal line, about a 9-minute delay. What were your thoughts on that entire sequence?
Well, I got to say right now first, the radio booth's right up above the rest of the press box, and I can hear the Toronto media typing away. The words per minute are flying right now here in Toronto. So right now, that is obviously the story of things. Depending on how this game ends, that could be the story for a while for the Maple Leafs. But the way I look at it and the way I see it here, first person, is the shot they keep showing with the puck over the across the line. That's after the whistle blows. That's after Bob gets up. And the puck, of course, moves a bit when Bob gets up. So you really never know where the puck was at the time play was stopped. And I think that's the reason. There was a no goal on the ice. There was not enough evidence to overturn that initial call. And here we are. So, like I said, the problem is the photo that's going to live on forever is the photo that really doesn't tell the whole story. But right now, I think for the officials, given the info they had, given the looks they had, that's the right call.
One more thing on this before we play back the goals. On the TV broadcast, they had said, because Morgan Riley kind of celebrated thinking he had the goal, the official blew the whistle, and they were like, well, if you can't see the puck, then you got to blow the whistle. But do you think Morgan Riley, because he prematurely celebrated there, maybe cost the Maple Leafs a goal?
Maybe, actually, now that you mention it, because that kind of did bring everything to a halt right there. So we'll see. And obviously, right now, one thing you have to know is the refs. There's not some magical angle the refs don't have. They call that back to Toronto. We're in Toronto. It's a short call, not a long distance call. They see everything. They got all the camera angles. They got everything. They looked at this every which way they could, and they felt they didn't have enough information to overturn it. That's all you got to say.
All right, let's play back the goals now, or at least the goal from the second period. First, Aaron Ekblad got the Panthers on the board. Power play goal at the 3:31 mark of the first, gave the Panthers a 1-0 lead. Carter Verhaeghe scored his 5th later in the first, make it 2-0. Before we get to the Morgan Riley, his only real goal. The Panthers, going into this game, undefeated in the postseason, Jameson, when they score the first goal, obviously very big to have that lead early after Toronto scored the first goal in the last 3 games.
Very big, and also they also are perfect this postseason when holding a lead after one period. So they like being in front. They run on confidence, and of course that confidence gets a nice boost when they do get that early lead. And the way they got the lead, the power play coming through, of course, and then of course doubling it up with a nice shot from Carter. It's kind of crazy in this series with so much talent on both sides. It seems like the Panthers have been scoring the prettier goals, where the Leafs are getting a lot of tips, a lot through traffic. It seems like the goal scoring identities for teams have kind of swapped places here in the second round.
Now let's play back the only Toronto goal. It was Morgan Riley, as it looked kind of like the Mitch Marner goal back in the third period of Game 4. Riley, through traffic, he would get the Maple Leafs on the board.
Camp went in that far corner, gives to Lafferty, out to the far point, Morgan Riley. Morgan Riley, long shot, tip, they score, and Toronto's on the board. 12:10 to go in the second. The Leafs back to within one. Morgan Riley let the shot go from the point. Not sure what that hit out in front. Looked like Sergei Bobrovsky may have even gotten a piece of it, but the Toronto Maple Leafs, they'll take it any way they can get it.
7:50 into the second period. Morgan Riley is fourth of the postseason. Sam Lafferty and David Camp with the assist to make it 2-1 Panthers. That's where we sit now. One thing I do want to note with you, Jameson, that the Panthers, we talked about it with Doug before the game, they hadn't had 30 shots on goal in any game through the first 4 of this series. So far, 30 shots on goal through 2 periods is pretty impressive.
Yeah, they're doing a much better job of getting pucks through. That was kind of the problem there in Game 4. Their shots, a lot of block shots. The Leafs are really clogging up the lanes. Tonight, they're doing a lot better job at challenging Woll. And he's made some huge saves. He's been fantastic in this game for the Maple Leafs, so that's a nice find for them, a 24-year-old rookie that's shining big here on the big stage. But Sergei Bobrovsky's been just as good for the Panthers at the other end. It's actually been a nice goaltending battle this entire series. And that's the crazy thing, is this is 2 of the top offenses in the NHL during the regular season, and yet it's been probably the tightest playoff series we've seen so far in these playoffs through 2 rounds. So not what we expected, but still exciting hockey.
So, Joseph Woll, 28 saves on 30 shots inside the Maple Leafs net. Sergei Bobrovsky, again, impressive night. Again, 28 saves on 29 shots. And the Panthers 20 minutes away from advancing to the Eastern Conference Final against the Carolina Hurricanes. Jameson All of FloridaPanthers.com. Jameson, with all due respect, I don't want to talk to you for Game 6. I want to talk to you for Game 1 of the next series.
It's been such a long road. Just give us a weekend to relax here and kind of recharge. Please, please.
Exactly. Jameson All of FloridaPanthers.com. Jameson, thank you.
Sounds good. Thanks, Couch.
All right, that is Jameson All of FloridaPanthers.com. And the Panthers looking to shut the door on the Toronto Maple Leafs. A win tonight, and they advance to the Eastern Conference Finals to take on the Carolina Hurricanes, who won their best-of-7 series in 5 games against New Jersey, and they won in overtime in the final game. So Carolina now sitting patiently, and we'll see if they know their opponent after tonight, or if Toronto completes the comeback and we'll have a Game 6 in Sunrise coming up on Sunday. Hopefully that's not the case, but again, we'll see what happens over the next 20 minutes. Coming up, we'll take a look at the JetBlue out-of-town scoreboard, also world-famous Twitter segment with Doug Plagans. All of that is straight ahead. Panthers 2, the Maple Leafs 1 after 2 in Toronto. Game 5 of this best-of-7 series. Panthers up 3-1 in the series, right here on the Florida Panthers Radio Network.
You love watching, following, and sometimes even playing the game. Don't ever let an injury keep you from it. Let the All-Pro staff at Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, the official sports medicine provider of the Florida Panthers, get you back to what you love. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information. Doesn't it feel good to know you can go where the pros go?
Has your child been diagnosed with autism? ABA Centers of Florida provides personalized autism therapy for children and teenagers. Call 844-682-4222 and get a free consultation. Immediate openings are available without any wait lists. ABA Centers of Florida is board certified, top rated, and nationally recognized. Most insurance plans are accepted. Call 844-682-4222 or visit abacentersfl.com/Panthers. Metro Group Miami, corporate partner of the Florida Panthers. The home of Metro Signs and Metro Wraps has been South Florida's business choice for quality signs and graphics for over 34 years. No sign is too big or too small for the experts at Metro. They bring brands to life. Call them today, 954-983-6662, 954-983-6662. Visit MetroGroupMiami.com to learn what they can do for you. Metro Group Miami, your everything team. Choose to see see clearly. Stop getting foggy glasses while watching the game. No glasses, no contact lenses. Call Dr. Bosom, the Panthers eye surgeon at 954-442-1133. Plus, just by mentioning the Panthers, they'll give you $1,000 off your procedure, and they're offering 0% financing for 2 years. CorrectVision.com, the only eye center in South Florida to offer all 5 vision correction procedures. Be sure to schedule your free consultation. Call 954-442-1133 or visit CorrectVision.com.
Second intermission from Toronto. Panthers 2, the Maple Leafs 1. Kevin Rogers with you. Morgan Riley getting Toronto on the board. He had another potential goal that did not get reversed. It was called no goal, and after the review, it stayed that way, whistle blew, so that would have tied the game for Toronto late in the second period. So we stand now 2-1 Panthers. Ekblad and Verhaeghe, the goals back in the first period, a Panther win, and they advance to the Eastern Conference Final against the Carolina Hurricanes coming up probably next week. Now let's take a look at the JetBlue out-of-town scoreboard. JetBlue, the official airline of the Florida Panthers, and coming up at 10 o'clock in Vegas, it's the Golden Knights and the Oilers. Game 5 of that series are all tied up at 2 games apiece. Meanwhile, in the NBA, the Heat trying to knock out the Knicks and advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. And Miami a 61-56 lead over New York, 6.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Heat were down by as many as 14 in the first quarter, but they've come back to now go up by 5. And the Marlins, they right now are tied with the Reds at 4. That game top of the 9th inning from Lone Depot Park. Up next, we have the world-famous Twitter segment with Doug Plagan, so get your tweets in now. Panthers 2, the Maple Leafs 1 after 2 in Toronto. Game 5 of their best-of-7 second-round series. A win for the Panthers, and they advance right here on the Florida Panthers Radio Network.
Would your children like the opportunity to play hockey just like their favorite Florida Panthers players? Sign them up for Florida Panthers Learn to Play. Learn to Play is designed to introduce the game of ice hockey to boys and girls ages 5 to 9. For only $225, each participant will receive 6 weeks of on-ice training from Florida Panthers alumni and U.S. Hockey certified coaches, as well as a custom-fitted free set of ice hockey equipment that they can keep at the program's conclusion. For sign-up, location, and scheduling information, visit floridapanthers.com/learn-to-play.
The Florida Panthers are back on the ice, and this season, you can be in the stands to experience it all live. Shop a wide variety of seats for every game from Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of the Florida Panthers and the NHL. And make sure you don't miss a single moment. And rest assured, if your plans change, Ticketmaster has you covered. You can securely sell your seats to other fans with just a few taps. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com/Florida Panthers. Hey Panthers fans, it's time to hunt with your new favorite delivery app. Download the ASAP app to get all of your game day needs delivered right to your door. Use code GOCATS to be entered in the Winner ASAP Dinner Sweepstakes for Panthers tickets, autographed merchandise, and more. Also, fans can order their concession favorites from their seats at all Panthers home games this season with ASAP.com in-seat mobile ordering. ASAP.com is the official mobile ordering partner of the Florida Panthers. Has your child been diagnosed with autism? ABA Centers of Florida provides personalized autism therapy for children and teenagers. Call 844-682-4222 and get a free consultation. Immediate openings are available without any wait lists. ABA Centers of Florida is board certified, top rated, and nationally recognized. Most insurance plans are accepted. Call 844-682-4222 or visit abacentersfl.com/Panthers.
Welcome back inside Scotiabank Arena here in Toronto. It's the Panthers 2 and the Leafs 1 after 2 periods of play. The Panthers looking to punch a ticket to the Eastern Conference Final if they can get a win here tonight. Still a period to go, trying to lock it down. A world-famous Twitter segment. You can always tweet the broadcast at Doug Plagans. Hello to Kevin, tuned in tonight. We've got Professor Gregory listening tonight. Paul, who I went to college with. Paul, hope you're doing well. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Also, Matt in Escondido, California, tuned in tonight. Bill, one of our listeners in law enforcement. Special hello and thank you to all of the police, fire, medical personnel, military we have tuned in tonight. Thanks for what you do. Thanks for making Panthers hockey a party night. Kurt in South Carolina Twitter captain, tuned in tonight. We've got Jeff in Gainesville listening this evening. We've got Terry listening from Ocala National Forest. He joined Twitter to chime in on the world-famous Twitter segment. We've got Christina tuned in tonight. We also have, we've got P.D. Coleman Jr. on Twitter, says, listening with my girlfriend Amy, who's a huge Panthers fan, on TuneIn. They're driving from Phoenix to Vegas for Mother's Day weekend. Give her a shout-out. Well, both of you, we're going to shout out both of you. Thanks for tuning in. And Amy, thanks for listening this evening. Hope we've made the drive go by quickly as you're on your way to Vegas. We've got Decker in Eastvale, California tuned in. Jack tuned in. Josh in Pembroke Pines. Jeff in Coral Springs. Sean the Hawk is with us tonight. Mr. Cirillo and Miss Mooney's 4th and 5th grade students listening from Boca. Roy in Scotland is tuned in tonight. Stevie Joe and his dog Hank in Daytona. Also Bill in Montana tuned in. We've got Gil in Houston. And we've got Mochim tuned in. Says, Mom just picked me up from babysitting. We're listening in. Well, thanks very much for being on board. Evan in Manitoba. Third period next. 2-1 Panthers over the Leafs. Thanks for the tweets. Back with a third straight ahead on the Florida Panthers Radio Network.
Panthers fans, download Upside to be a cashback champion. With the new Upside app, you earn cash back on the essentials you need and find cash in places you never expected, like your favorite restaurant, your go-to grocery store, and that gas station you always stop at. All the places you go, there's cash back waiting for you to find it. Will Upside earn you enough money to quit your job and become a full-time Panthers fan? Probably not, but it will give you a little something extra, like enough cash back to bring some friends to the next game or to treat yourself to some new Panthers swag. There's nothing like a Panthers win and a few unexpected bucks to brighten your day. That's life on the Upside. Download the free Upside app and use promo code GOCATS for an extra 25 cents per gallon back on your first fill-up. That's promo code GOCATS for an extra 25 cents per gallon. Download Upside today to earn cash back at thousands of gas stations, restaurants, and grocery stores.
Time of the third period. Panthers 2 and the Leafs 1 here at Scotiabank Arena. Doug Plagens with you. Kevin Rogers back in our network studios. We are off and running in the final frame of regulation. Panthers up a goal. Panthers in white left to right. Leafs in blue right to left. Puck shoveled down to our left inside the Panthers zone. Mark Stahl behind the net. Zips it over along the far boards. Nick Cousins able to clear. This one's going to go all the way down. And it's going to be an early icing call against the Panthers 15 seconds into the period. Shots are 30-29 for the Panthers through 2-1. Panthers over Toronto as we've gone into this third period of action. Panthers leading this 7-game series 3-1. So a Panthers win tonight, and they would move on to the Eastern Conference Final, take on the Carolina Hurricanes. Carolina got by New Jersey last night in 5 games. Face off near circle down to our left. Sam Bennett leans in against Austin Matthews, and we're going to do it again. If you're just joining us, 2 in the first for the Panthers, 1 in the second for the Leafs. Toronto thought they had a second one, but they ruled the play was blown dead before the puck crossed the goal line. Here's Mitch Marner. Off to the far point. Long shot. Shen. Save Bobrovsky. Loose side of the goal. Matthews a backhand jam at it. And it's wide. Kachuk will pick it up off the near boards. Clears. Morgan Riley at center. Hands it back for Shen out of his reach. Shen tracks back for it. Around the inboards. Took a hit. Got it around for Morgan Riley. On for Matthews. Cross ice, Nylander a lane. Up the right wing, teased up a blast. Save Bobrovsky with the right pad. Marner, a rebound try, a wobbler wide. Bobrovsky may have gotten a piece of that. Into the near corner, it's pushed along by Ekblad. Out to the point, handled by Brody. Brody able to play it down to the corner. And this one rolls back behind the net. Matthews, he'll wrap it around. Save Bobrovsky, loose up to the side of the goal. Ekblad, a big play there on Nylander to dump him over. Make sure he didn't get a shot away. The Leafs hold his own. Forsling in that far corner. He'll take it behind the net. Forsling off to the near boards, and he's going to nudge it along, and it gets out beyond the line. A roller down to our right. Liljegren back for Toronto. Yanks it off the near wall. Brody up the near side. Bunting shuffles this one along over the Panthers' blue line. Radko Gudas punched it back the other way down to our right. And it's going to be all the way down for an icing. 18:38 to play here in this third period. Toronto already with 4 shots on net here in the first 1:22 of the third period. As the Panthers looking to protect this lead, Sergei Bobrovsky has turned away 32 of 33. He has been outstanding once again. The Panthers in this series, they're up 3-1. They've held the Leafs to 2 goals in each of the 4 games played. Tonight they've held them to 1. Off a face-off, Gudis chips it along. It's off a Leaf skate, bounces off Tavares into the neutral zone. John Tavares caught up to that slow roller, and he'll fling it back the other way. Bobrovsky gives to Gudis, and it's played around the end boards and all the way down to our right. Giordano is going to have to make a play on this, no icing. Leaves it behind the net, Jake McCabe. Off to the far boards, nobody home for Toronto, and Sam Reinhart will keep it down low for Hagee. Over on that far side, punched it down for Lundell. Around the end boards then, here on the near side, Montour after it. He'll play it behind the net. This one cut off by Giordano, sent out to the line for Hagee. Long shot deflecting, it's wide to the far corner. Mark Stahl there, and he'll push it off to the near boards. Lundell out to the point, pass between the point men. It goes all the way down to our left, and Sergei Bobrovsky well out to handle it. He'll give to Montour. Montour up to center ice, looks to the far wing. Colin White backhand down wide off the end boards. Funny bounce, side of the goal. Luostarinen finds the puck. Over in that far corner, he's got two Leafs on him. Puck pops free, Justin Hall. Behind the net, Morgan Riley for Toronto. Toronto right to left, Panthers left to right. Sam Lafferty at center ice. A pass rink wide, it's off Lundell. And it's zipped back in by Luostarinen down to our right. Back behind the net, Joe Wall, the goaltender, to Morgan Riley. Riley up the near side for Toronto. He'll guide this one along. Kerfoot couldn't handle it. Morgan Riley with it. He's got a man on him. Drop back for Hall. Justin Hall, Morgan Riley. He'll walk it into the neutral zone. Morgan Riley to center. It's dumped in. Around the end boards it goes. Camp far side for Toronto. Keeps it down deep for the Panthers and Kerfoot behind the net. Bounces one. Nylander out to the high slot. Brody, a shot. It's blocked. And Brody able to corral it again. He brings it off to the near boards, protecting it for Toronto. A heck of a job by TJ Brody there as he held on to it for a long time. Dealt with a lot of pressure. And finally, Eric Stahl has him tied up and Ekblad able to get the clear. Brody held that in there as long as one guy could against multiple Panthers. Now here's Matthew Tkachuk here on the near side of the ice. Down the corner, it's Cousins. Hands it around the end wall. Far corner, Sam Bennett crashes into Yarncroke. Gets a pass out to the point. Mahura, Bennett far side. Bennett along the boards. Wheels away from Yarncroke. Bennett out to Mahura, left point. Down along the boards and around the end wall. This one's going to take a ride off to the near boards. Bennett played it back toward the corner. Now it's cut off by Brody. He's been out there on a long sequence. Liljegren clearing for the Leafs out to center. It goes off Josh Mahura. Matthew Tkachuk flips it back along. This one down to our right into the Toronto end. McCabe on the end wall, sidesteps Bennett. Lost the puck though. Montour near side holds it down deep. Liljegren around for Marner. Here's Mitch Marner. Dances his way into the neutral zone across the Leaf logo. Marner inoffensively right circle. Heads down low. Looks for a passing lane. Here's Marner. Pass across. It's off the skate of O'Reilly. And on the end boards, Barkov has O'Reilly pressured. And they'll tussle on the end wall. John Tavares looking for the puck. He's knocked over by Mark Stahl. Now the puck picked up here by Anthony Duclair. Near side of the ice. He'll flip it high in the air. And to our right it goes. Funny bounce here on the near side. Schenn and Verhaeghe battle. Verhaeghe keeps it moving down low to the corner. Plays it to the end boards. It's handled by O'Reilly. Off to the near side. It's Schenn. Tried to backhand it out of the zone. Barkov clogged the lane there, but O'Reilly's scrambling. He'll regather for Toronto. Given back then to Schenn up the right side. Lafferty. Lafferty for Toronto. Tavares then dropped it back for the defense. And on the far side of the ice, Jake McCabe. Off the end boards, Luke Schenn near side. Up the wing for Bunting. 15:06 to play here in the third. Bunting dumps it in. Final 15 minutes of regulation. Presented by Geico. 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on your car insurance. The Panthers get it clear. It's walked up the left wing. Anton Lundell over the Toronto line. Drifts off to the near side. Backhand out of the corner. Rims around the end boards. And it's going to take a bounce off to the near side. Pushed along by Riley. Here on the near side, Morgan Riley gets out towards center ice. Backhand through center. Lafferty down to our left. Long shot, and it's knocked away by Bobrovsky. Here on the near boards. Sent out to center by Dalpe. Down to our right, Giordano. He's backed up with this one. Back inside the Toronto end. 14:28 to go in the third. Swiftly moving third period so far. 2-1 Panthers in front. The Leafs with the first 6 shots on goal here in this third period. A puck launched long into the Panthers zone. Nylander winds it around near side Giordano. He'll push it down wide. Around it goes Justin Hall. Far boards keeping it down deep for Toronto. Karams around. Here's Giordano. Sharp angle. Tried, didn't get through. Radko Gudas off to the near boards. And he's going to play one straight on for Eric Stahl. And he'll bounce this one into Toronto end. Back by the net, Colin White. Run into there by Giordano. Loose puck off to the far corner. Eric Stahl holding it down deep. Out along the boards then. It's Duclair into the far circle. Leaves it out to the point. Mark Stahl left side. Down and around the end boards. Roller off to the near corner. Justin Hall for Toronto. Hall around far side. Played there by Giordano. He'll fling it long out of the zone. Down to our left it goes, and it's Brandon Montour giving to Mark Stahl. Back across, Brandon Montour near side. Montour up the wing. Barkov off his stick. Goes deep into the Toronto zone. Down to our right, TJ Brody on the end boards for the Leafs. 13:22 to go here in the third. 2-1 Panthers. No scoring here in the third to this point. Liljegren, long pass straight on. It's off the stick of O'Reilly. Deflection on Bobrovsky. Made the save. Leafs keep it in near side. Brody. Brody to the corner. He's met by Reinhart. Puck poked up the boards by Ekblad. And now the Leafs hold it in. Brody winds it around. Far corner after it, Liljegren. He has it rolled by Marner at the right point. Pass across. Brody. And he holds it in. Ekblad able to take it away. Springs one on for Lundell. And Lundell fires it in on Wall. First save that he's made in the third period as Marner will lug it along. Both teams interchange. Marner up to center. Gives to Camp. Camp played it over the Panthers line. It's sent back out. Montour to Cousins. Cousins at center ice. He'll wrist it in. Far corner. Rims around. Near side of the ice. Morgan Riley had to go by. Oh, Bennett just blasted Riley. The Leafs able to come away with control, though. They're out of their zone quickly. Here's Lafferty. Banks it off the near boards. Down to our left. A race for it. Lafferty poked it around the end boards. Getting there just a nose ahead of Josh Mahura. Bennett on the loose puck, though. He'll send it out to center, where it's handled by Matthew Tkachuk. Dumped in along the far wall. 12:17 to go here in the third. 2-1 Panthers in front of Toronto. It's walked along by McCabe. McCabe up to center ice. He'll drift off to the far wing. Nylander, McCabe. McCabe lost it. Nylander able to hang on. He'll shuffle it around the end boards. Here on the near side, handled by Bunting. Bunting behind the net. This one winds around far side. Hall for Toronto. He'll whip it around. A lot of perimeter play from the Leafs so far in overtime, but they've had some zone time, to say the least. The Panthers able to get a clear here from Verhaeghe. Now a foot race going down to our right. Verhaeghe gets there first. Far circle, walks in. Johnny zipped it wide. Oh, what a sequence that would have been if Carter Verhaeghe would have been able to sneak that one past Joe Wall. He won a foot race against Justin Hall to get the shot away. Now a long feed. It's off the stick of Matthews, so no icing. Down to our left, Bobrovsky around the end boards, far side. Yarncroke to hold it in for Toronto. Into the far circle, pass up top. Taken and sent across. Brody to Riley. Shot out in front, and that one wobbles wide. He was looking for a deflection, Morgan Riley was. It's held down low by Yarncroke. Puck goes out of play. Bunting had his helmet knocked off. Whistle blows. 11:19 to go in the third. 2-1 Panthers. We'll bring it back for more in just a moment. Panthers trying to punch a ticket to the conference final if they can win this game tonight. As we wait for the ice crew to come out, looks like we are taking the media timeout. 2-1 Panthers, 11:19 to go in the third on the Florida Panthers Radio Network.
Is your plumbing putting you in the penalty box? Is your AC icing? Call General Plumbing and Air Conditioning and let them provide you with unmatched red carpet service for all your plumbing and AC needs. With 24-hour emergency service 7 days a week, including holidays, they're ready to serve the Palm Beaches with professional, experienced, and friendly technicians. So take a shot with General Plumbing and Air Conditioning, proud partner of the Florida Panthers. Call today, 561-559-7711. That's 561-559-7711. Or find them online at generalplumbing.com. Go Panthers!
Why? Just think about it. Why is the #1 selling brand of chainsaws not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot? We can give you over 10,000 reasons. That's how many authorized local steel dealers you can find across the country. Visit one and you'll find a range of dependable gas and battery-powered tools, from trimmers to blowers. And you'll find service from experienced professionals. Real steel. Find yours at steelusa.com. Lowe's and Home Depot are trademarks of their respective companies.
With your choice of select sandwich, nugs, fries, and a drink, Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag is your go-to. Your nugget wingman. Your hot and crispy fry co-pilot.
Just like us. We're like the bag boys.
What?
Bag boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when we bring your food?
For a deal you can count on, bet on Biggie and choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
Bag boys.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Includes choice of double-stacked JVC or crispy chicken sandwich with 4-piece nugs, junior fry, and small soft drink. Third-party delivery pricing may be higher.
19 to go here in this third period of action. A 2-1 Panthers lead over the Toronto Maple Leafs at Scotiabank Arena. Game 5 of this best-of-7 second-round series. Panthers lead the series 3-1. The Panthers looking to punch a ticket to the Eastern Conference Final, where they would take on the Carolina Hurricanes if they can lock down the win tonight. If the Leafs were to come back and take this game, that means there'd be a Game 6 at FLA Live Arena in Sunrise on Sunday at a time to be determined. The Panthers hoping that time won't need to be determined. They're hoping to clear the schedule for the weekend and hopefully get ready for the Eastern Conference Final. Face-off, far circle down to our left. Off the draw, the Leafs have it. It's played across by TJ Brody. Morgan Riley backs into the neutral zone. Leafs will have to reset. He's spun around. Luostarina near side for the Panthers. Has control, right circle. A shot is saved by Wall. It's loose in the front of the net and cleared by Nylander. And this one goes all the way down. An icing call against Toronto. Exactly 9 minutes gone by here in this third period. 2-1. Panthers over the Leafs. It was 2 back in the first period for the Panthers, and it's still holding up. Sergei Bobrovsky's made 35 saves tonight. Face-off, far circle down to our right. To the right of Joe Wall. Nick Cousins pulls it back, far point, Forsling. Plays it along the boards, down to the end wall, back behind the net. Riley almost lost it. Morgan Riley recovering. Riley behind the net, TJ Brody. Over on that far side. And he'll play it up the boards. Nylander, Brody now, straight on Matthews, over the line. Austin Matthews, left circle, a shot. Bobrovsky, a piece of it, knocked it away. And on the far boards, it's Matthew Tkachuk through the neutral zone. Left wing side, drop past Nick Cousins along the boards. A shot blocked. O'Reilly is able to play one on for Tavares, who maneuvers it to center. Nick Cousins takes over for the Panthers, hands it back for Aaron Ekblad. Over for Forsling, far side of the ice. Bounces one along over on the far boards. Didn't get it to Bennett. Tavares up the right wing. Ekblad kept it to the outside. Backhands to center to clear. And the Panthers will walk this one along. It's Barkov up toward the offensive line. Bats it over the Toronto blue line. The Leafs reset. Here's Jake McCabe up the near side. Launches one in on net. Bobrovsky will play it off to Montour. Up the near side for Verhaeghe. Verhaeghe clears through center. It's Anthony Duclair in along the near boards. He's running too hard by Luke Schenn. To the near corner, it's Barkov tied up. Barkov trying to keep it down low behind the net. Jake McCabe takes over for the Leafs off to the near corner. It's handled by Luke Schenn, ripped away by Verhaeghe. Verhaeghe through traffic, a shot and a right pad save made by Wall. Over on the far boards, Ryan O'Reilly. He'll drop it back deep into the Leafs zone. Schenn has it across for Marner. Dropped back for Schenn. Schenn over to the far boards, McCabe. He'll leave it for Schenn. And he's going to play it up the far boards. That goes into the neutral zone. Josh Mahura took a hard lick over there from Nola Chari. The Panthers do work it in, though. Schenn behind the net, McCabe. Jake McCabe to Schenn. Fans vocally behind their Leafs here at Scotiabank Arena. The Panthers trying to silence this crowd as the puck pushed along down to the left. Radko Gudas clears to center. And here on the near boards at Chari pushes it over the line. Eric Stahl across for Josh Mahura. Mahura inside 9 minutes to play here in this third period. 2-1, Panthers in front. To Gudas. Pass to center ice. In goes Anton Lundell. Drifts off to the right wing side. He'll play it to the corner. Down here on the near side, Brody kept it to the outside. The Leafs regather control, though. It's TJ Brody charging along. Pass to center. Headman's to Matthews. Matthews in for Toronto. Left side, Nylander to Matthews. A bouncer in on net, and Bobrovsky able to reel that one in. 8:38 to go in the third. 2-1. Panthers protecting the lead here at Scotiabank Arena. Looking to clinch the series tonight. We will step aside and bring it back for more third period action. Next, it's the Florida Panthers Radio Network.
Panthers fans, download Upside to be a cashback champion. With the new Upside app, you earn cash back on the essentials you need and find cash in places you never expected, like your favorite restaurant, your go-to grocery store, and that gas station you always stop at. All the places you go, there's cash back waiting for you to find it. Will Upside earn you enough money to quit your job and become a full-time Panthers fan? Probably not, but it will give you a little something extra, like enough cash back to bring some friends to the next game or to treat yourself to some new Panthers swag. There's nothing like a Panthers win and a few unexpected bucks to brighten your day. That's life on the Upside. Download the free Upside app and use promo code GOCATS for an extra 25 cents per gallon back on your first fill-up. That's promo code GOCATS for an extra 25 cents per gallon. Download Upside today to earn cash back at thousands of gas stations, restaurants, and grocery stores.
Metro Group Miami, corporate partner of the Florida Panthers. The home of Metro Signs and Metro Wraps has been South Florida's business choice for quality signs and graphics for over 34 years. No sign is too big or too small for the experts at Metro. They bring brands to life. Call them today, 954-983-6662, 954-983-6662. Visit MetroGroupMiami.com to learn what they can do for you. Metro Group Miami, your everything team.
8:38 to play in the third period. Panthers playoffs presented by City Furniture. 2-1 Panthers over the Toronto Maple Leafs. Well into our final 15 minutes of regulation, presented as always by Geico. 15 minutes can save you 15% or more in your car insurance. Face-off coming up down inside the Panthers zone to our left. The shots 10-4 in favor of Toronto here in this third period of action. If you're joining us late, Verhaeghe and Ekblad back in the first period. Morgan Riley for the Leafs in the second period. That's the scoring in the game. Panthers lead the series 3-1, looking to punch a ticket to the conference final if they can win this game tonight. Off a draw, Marner in front, a shot, and a left-hand save made by Bobrovsky. Over to the far corner, Morgan Riley to hold it down low. In that far corner, Tavares looking for Marner. It bounced away. Eetu Luostarinen was in there against him. And Anton Lundell gets it to center, dumps it down to our right. TJ Brody back behind the net. He'll take it off to the far corner. Brody up that far side for the Leafs. He's spun around, and the puck played out to center. Montour will drive it back in for the Panthers. Blockered away by Wall. To the far corner it goes. 8:10 left in the third. 2-1 Panthers in front. They lead the series 3-1. Here's Morgan Riley. Long feed down to our right, and there won't be an icing. Marner getting in there ahead of the Panthers defense. Now on the far side of the ice. Kachuk will wind it around. Near corner, Ekblad takes a shoulder from McCabe. Played it along the boards. It's held in. Tavares, Yarncroke across Marner. Right side, a shot blocked by Kachuk high in the air. McCabe rolled it toward the net. Couldn't get it through. Now over on that far side, Kachuk is run into by McCabe. They battle over on the far boards. Puck to the corner. Forsling pops it around the boards. Ekblad able to sky it down to our right. And this one not far enough for an icing. Liljegren's going to have to make a play on it for Toronto. 7.5 minutes to play in the third period. 2-1 Panthers over the Leafs. Liljegren. He'll break this one up the right side. Liljegren punched it along. It's off for Verhaeghe. Verhaeghe bats it out of the air. Gets it over the Leaf line. Down to our right it goes. Morgan Riley up the near wall. Duclair bottles this one up, and then it's jammed down to our right. Around the end wall it goes. Liljegren, far corner, fumbles it away. Verhaeghe in front. A shot, Barkov, and then a follow-up try from Duclair. It's blocked in front. Both were blocked in front. Verhaeghe a try, and it's kicked away by the right pad of Joe Wall. Over in that far corner, Matthews behind the net. Morgan Riley inside. 7 minutes to play here in this third period. Laid up the near boards, Nylander. Nylander tied up with Barkov, who's able to come away with the puck. Barkov chips it along. It's off Matthews, and he's going to settle this one down. Almost lost it. Matthews backhand across, and Luke Schenn is there. Schenn up the far side for Toronto. He'll chip it over the Panthers line. Montour across Mark Stahl. Skies it out across center ice. Down to our right this one goes. Going to be an icing call against the Panthers. 6:31 to play in the third period. 2-1 Panthers over Toronto. Shots are 40-34 in favor of the Leafs here in this one. 11-5, Toronto leading the shots on net in period number 3. Panthers had a good flurry in front of Joe Wall, but it was the shot blocking of the Leafs defense that took away those tries. Face-off near circle down to our left, Reinhart and O'Reilly. And O'Reilly pulls this one back. It goes to the line. Giordano, he lost it to Anton Lundell. Up the right side, it's Anton Lundell. Along the wing to the right circle. Giordano back against him in front to Luostarinen, who spun around, can't get a shot away. Matthews to O'Reilly, across for Brody. And TJ Brody will drop it back for Marner. Right to left across your radio dial. Here goes Marner in for Toronto. The high slot, right circle shot. Matthews, and a right pass save made by Bobrovsky. Puck kicked off to the near boards, and it's muscled into neutral ice by Kachuk. Luostarinen takes over here on the near boards, and he's going to dump it in down to our right. Behind the net, Joe Wall. Long pass, springs it ahead for Jake McCabe. To center, Tavares. John Tavares, the Leafs captain. Long shot in, a wrister in on Bobrovsky. He's going to snare that one routinely. 5:51 to play in the third. 2-1 the Panthers lead here in Game 5. We'll step aside for one last media timeout. We'll come back. The Panthers going to try and close out the game and the series. That's next. Panthers up a goal on the Florida Panthers Radio Network.
You love watching, following, and sometimes even playing the game. Don't ever let an injury keep you from it. Let the All-Pro staff at Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, the official sports medicine provider of the Florida Panthers, get you back to what you love. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information. Doesn't it feel good to know you can go where the pros go?
Imagine a bank that lives for assists. One that sees their customers as part of a team with a common goal to achieve your dreams. Well, imagine that. There is one. We're Amerant. We're ready to help you wherever you are in life. And just as importantly, wherever you want to go. Because at Amerant, we want you to live a life beyond what you could imagine. Amerant, official bank of the Florida Panthers. Member FDIC.
Pest Pro Ridall, trusted by the best to keep away the pests. For all your pest control needs, call the professionals at Pest Pro Ridall to schedule your appointment. 954-247-4087. Pest Pro Ridall provides pest control to homes, restaurants, hotels, offices, condominiums, warehouses. Call 954-247-4087 or go to mypestpro.com. mypestpro.com.
5:51 to play in the third period. 2-1 Panthers over Toronto. Toronto throwing a lot at the Panthers here in this third period. Panthers have gotten some opportunities in the last couple of moments. And a face-off upcoming near circle down to our left of the Panthers zone. Getting back to that sequence at 17-11 of the second. Morgan Riley thought he had a goal. Referee deemed the play dead. Prior to puck crossing the goal line, call was made in accordance to Rule 78.5 states apparent goal shall be disallowed when the referee deems the play is stopped, even if he had physically had the opportunity. Stop play by blowing his whistle. That from the release sent by the National Hockey League. Here on the near side of the ice, Mark Stahl shovels it along. It's Lundell to Reinhart. Through center ice, Sam Reinhart dumps it in on Joe Wall. Block it away. Far corner, Reinhart around back of the net. And behind the goal, Lundell and Morgan Riley tussle. Tavares scoops it up, gives to Riley. Morgan Riley near side for Matthews. And he's able to play it along the line. It was kept in by Anton Lundell. And sent back down behind the Leafs net. Lou Osterinen holding it down there. He's wrapped up by Liljegren. Then Morgan Riley, he's running too hard by Sam Bennett. Then Matthews comes in against Bennett and backhands around the end boards. Bennett's thrown some fierce hits in this game. Getting back to that first period check on John Tavares when he absolutely flattened him here along the near boards. And that really set a tone for the Panthers, you felt like, early on. Errant pass from Liljegren. Here on the near side, Matthews runs it down, lost it to Bennett in the corner, and then Bennett tried to center. It's intercepted Ryan O'Reilly. Off to the near boards. A race for this one. Liljegren's been caught out there on a long sequence. Timothy Liljegren on for Marner, who dangles his way out of the zone. Mitch Marner down to our left for Toronto. Marner, right circle shot. Nylander wide. Around it goes. That's going to leave the zone, and the Leafs will be forced to reset back in their own end. 4:37 to go in the third. 2-1 Panthers. They lead the series 3-1. They're looking to close this out and earn a berth in the conference final tonight. Here's Tavares. Nylander, lane right side of the circle. Nylander shot. He scores. With 4:26 to play in the third. Top shelf. And he was going full speed up that right side. Well, Nylander in this series, even when he was in a cold spell by his standards, he was still dangerous and threatening. And he comes up with, I'm sure what he would tell you is his biggest goal in this 22-23 campaign. William Nylander. We got a whole new hockey game here late. 40 goals during the regular season. 4 in the playoffs. With that one right there. 2-2. 4:15 to play in the third. Now Anton Lundell here on the near side. Camp popped it away. Camp and to our left. Works in for Toronto. Here's Lafferty. Lafferty left circle. He's running too hard by Gudas. That allows the Panthers to get the puck out. Brody backed up to his own line. Well, here in the third, the Panthers have had their chances. They've done a good job making sure the puck doesn't stay in their end for prolonged sequences. as the Leafs turn one over. Cousins, right side, Ekblad will dump it in. But pressure-wise, the Leafs have turned up the heat against the Panthers. Toronto needed 14 shots on net here in the third period to break through, but they do break through. And it was that 14th shot of the period that got by Sergei Bobrovsky. Matthews winning a draw. Riley, Schenn off to the right side. Marner out of his reach down to our left. A foot race, Kerfoot there first, no icing. Near side Matthews, it was out of his reach. Tkachuk across for Ekblad. Out go the Panthers left to right across your radio. Dumped in by Ekblad. Down to the near corner, Sam Bennett. Bennett for Tkachuk here on the near side. Protects the puck against Matthews. Tkachuk flew a tire. Played by Matthews up the near side. Here's Kerfoot into the neutral zone. Had it popped away by Ekblad. And now it's Schenn on for Kerfoot. He was tied up by Mark Stahl. Barkov to Ekblad up the near side. Tkachuk, rink wide. Gets it over the Leafs line. Far side Liljegren to Achari. Dropped it back. Nobody home. Centering feet out front. Away from Barkov. Montour. Shot blocker. Save made by Wall. As Noel Achari nearly gifted one to the Panthers there. Now out come the Leafs right side. Bunting up the wing. Forsling against him. And Forsling, a good play to take him down over along the far wall. Bunting on a loose puck. Tried to shovel it behind the net. Cut off. Played along. Duclair into the neutral zone. It's poked away by Liljegren. And down to our right inside the Leaf line. McCabe to Liljegren. Sent it out of the zone. Far side of the ice. Bouncing puck into the Leafs bench. 2:37 to go in the third. 2-2 the score here in Game 5. The Panthers trying to end the series. The Leafs trying to live to fight another day. Face off on the way from center. After that one went out of play. Off the draw, Brody to the far boards. And a tussle for the loose puck. Well, unfortunately for the Panthers, the Leafs have now scored twice in each of the 5 games. That second goal tonight means they've tied things up for the time being. Here on the near side of the ice, Anton Lundell shovels it down to our right, deep into the Toronto end, Joe Wall. And Brody will take over. Shots 43-36 for Toronto. Justin Hall. Pass to center. Behind Bunting. Down to our left icing against Toronto. 1:59 to go in the third. 2-2 the score. Joe Wall, for a guy making his second playoff start, looks pretty calm down there. 34 saves for him tonight. Sergei Bobrovsky stopped 41. Face off to Joe Wall's right. Inside the Leaf line, down to our right far circle. Barkov and Matthews on for the draw. And Matthews wins this one. Brody to Hall. Off the short glass, out of the zone. Foot race. Nylander after it. Through the right circle. A shot, and he sent it wide. Coming through that right circle. Same angle he scored on there a few moments ago. And now Barkov, a takeaway behind the net in the offensive end. Barkov to Mark Stahl. A shot, it went wide. Here in the near corner to the near boards. Barkov to the corner. Duclair. Anthony Duclair, he's tied up. Matthews tries to pull it free. Now behind the net, Morgan Riley lost it. Barkov to the front of the goal. Joe Wall poked it away before Verhaeghe could get it cleanly. Verhaeghe to the line. Montour, long shot, right pad, save made. And now it's played out of the zone. Bunting to Marner. Marner up the right side, one-on-one with Montour. Puts on the brakes, looks for a passing lane. Both teams in a change. Marner across Kerfoot, an open lane, left circle shot. It deflects. It was Bennett over to block that shot. Broke his stick in blocking the shot, but he took away a scoring chance from Toronto at a crucial time. Sam Bennett coming up with the defensive play there. Brody across a dangerous pass in his own zone, but he did get it to Justin Hall. Matthew Tkachuk almost intercepted that right front of the net. Down to our left, Kerfoot swipes it down to the end boards. 45 seconds to play in regulation. Tkachuk far side. Looks to clear. It's off Achari. Long shot blocked by Gudas. Panthers a late chance. Cousins to Bennett. Through center ice. Sam Bennett drifts off to the left side. A shot blocked by Hall, and he went down. That stung him a bit. Wherever that one got him, right around the ankle, shin. Puck out of play. Face-off upcoming. A full building on its feet here at Scotiabank Arena. They get Sam Bennett's broken in half stick off the ice down there to our left. Broke it, blocking that Kerfoot shot. Came across with a last-ditch effort to take away that opportunity. Kerfoot was coming right through the left circle with time to shoot, but maybe waited a hair too long. That allowed Sam Bennett to get over there and block it. Now a face-off coming in the offensive end for the Panthers at a critical time, and Anton Lundell's going to take it. He's out with Luostarinen and Reinhart. Montour, Mark Stahl defensively. Tavares for Toronto on the draw, and the Leaf captain wins that one. Riley out of the zone, hopped over the stick of Marner, but no icing here. They say it glanced off the stick apparently. Now down to our left behind the net, Mark Stahl shuffles it up the boards. 20 seconds in regulation. Luostarinen bumped into, and now it's Luke Shen inside the Toronto line. Flips it high, through center, bouncer down to our left. Brandon Montour into the near circle. Mark Stahl got crossed up with Marner. Fans wanted a call, not going to get it. Here's Reinhart in. Lundell, near side Reinhart to the corner. Out along the board, Sam Reinhart. And that's going to do it for 60 minutes. Well, we're going to overtime tonight here at Scotiabank Arena in Toronto. 2 in the first for the Panthers. 1 in the second for Toronto, 1 in the third for Toronto, and it was Nylander with 4:26 on the clock. His fourth the playoffs from Tavares and Brody. Tied things up for the Leafs. So that's where we stand. Shots are 43-36 for Toronto. Well, in case you're just joining us, if you're new to the program, Panthers lead the series 3-1. They're looking to close out the best of 7 tonight. If the Panthers get the overtime winner when overtime comes around, the Panthers will go to the Eastern Conference Final to take on Carolina. If the Leafs get the overtime winner, there will be a Game 6 at FLA Live Arena in Sunrise on Sunday. The Panthers would love to clear up the weekend and get this thing done tonight. 2-2 heading to overtime. So once again in this series, we'll have a game decided by a goal. All but one of the games in this series have been decided by a goal. And we'll have yet another overtime game coming. So while we catch our breath here in Toronto, Kevin Rogers will take over back in our network studios. He'll get you caught up on what's going on here. He'll get you caught up on the action across the rest of the league. And he will take us up to the start of overtime coming up in about 13 minutes or so. 2-2 after 60 minutes. Panthers and Leafs. Second round best of 7 series. Panthers lead the series 3-1. Commercial-free rock and roll the rest of the way. Doug Plagens here with you in Toronto. Kevin Rogers in our network studios. Paul Gantz, our on-site engineer. Danny Garcia back at studio control. Kevin Rogers, take it away for the overtime intermission, tied at 2.
All right, Doug, thank you. And for the 4th time in the postseason, the Panthers are headed to overtime. And guess what? They're a perfect 3-0 when going to the extra session. They beat Boston twice on the road, and also they knocked off Toronto in Game 3 at home. Panthers ended the last series with an overtime win. We'll see if they could do that tonight with a goal in an overtime sometime tonight. Can't say the first one. Could be any overtime. Doesn't matter. Next goal will win. But the Panthers and Maple Leafs tied up at 2. Game 5 of this best of 7 series. Panthers up 3-2.